We're here. We're live on the internet.
Hi, chat. I'm having lunch.
Because, of course, one of us has to be having lunch during a live. That's just how we roll.
Mm-hmm.
We've already got Jude and Asa in the chat.
Hey, Jude.
Good evening to both of you. My hair
Jude was
is
in
doing
the.
awkward things.
I was able to tune into the Fiber Friends this morning for a bit.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't normally make it, so it was nice to make it this time.
Oh, and Susanna's here too.
Hey, Susanna. Hey, Asa.
So how's everybody doing in chat? Oh, and Debbie is here as well. Hello.
Oh, my.
All these people are ready, raring to go. We're so ready for WIP Sprints.
I'm ready for the WIP sprint part. I'm just never ready for the live on the internet part.
Susanna's at work. Bleh. Boo. You shouldn't it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Boo work. Shouldn't be work on a Saturday.
You shouldn't do work on a Saturday if your weekdays Monday to Friday.
Yes. No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so I have 3 options of things to work on.
Yep.
I'm taking votes.
Okay.
For the first sprint, am I working on the librarian pullover? It's the brown tweedy one. Am I working
You want some
on
of my fish?
Is Phaedra going to join us
Sorry.
on the live?
Well, this is one of the freezer meals from like his dad fishes.
Right.
But he doesn't eat as much fish as he catches, and I love fish. So this is some of my fish my dad caught or fish my niece caught. Not sure. But I cooked it all off with rice, and then I pulled this out of the freezer. So it's my version of a TV dinner.
And Phaedra wants
However,
some.
I cooked the fish plain because I always end up sharing with my cat.
Uh-huh.
We've got the librarian. What's our other 2 options?
We've got the Steinkrieger. That's the gray one with the white color work that I attached the sleeves wrong.
Okay.
And then I have the granny stripe blanket. I know which one
We need to
I
get
want
you
to
some
work
more
on,
projects.
but I'm taking votes from chat. Are we doing the librarian, the Steinkrieger, or the granny stripe blanket?
No, so she said from chat. That means I don't get a vote. I'm not in chat.
You can have a vote too.
I vote Steinkrieger.
All right, 1 vote for Steinkrieger.
Because I'm desperate for you to have a new WIP to talk about. My word.
I know. And trust me, me too. Sherry votes blanket. Also says you can do all of them during the live. I will do all of them during the live. I just mean for this first sprint, what am I doing? Susanna says work Saturdays or have a nervous breakdown? Oh no. Boo. Gross job.
Gross job.
Well, this is unhelpful. Debbie votes for the Steinkrieger for Mr. Diana's sweater. Sherry votes for the blanket.
That's 2 Steinkriegers.
Okay, 2 Steinkriegers. And 1, all of them. Okay, so we're sitting at 2 Steinkriegers, so I think that's what I'm doing first. Debbie's crocheting on a 12-point star blanket for a baby shower next weekend.
Ooh, lovely. I think.
And also votes for the librarian. Oh, well, that's a
I
spread
shall
of votes.
start with my Endless Summer Adventure shawl. I think is where I will start today.
Oh, that's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
So where's my Steinkrieger? And by mine, I mean Mr. Diana's. God, I'm just so annoyed.
I'm gonna go put
Okay.
this back in the fridge because I can't just leave it out the whole time.
Well, no, Phaedra will definitely eat it.
Uh-huh. I'll be back.
Oh no, Jude's got a fried laptop. Punishing you for not replacing it yet? Oh, geez. How old is it? How fried is it? Because I definitely still have my university laptop in this room, and it's in pretty sad shape. Like, it has trouble with Netflix these days. Because Netflix was the hot new thing back when I got the laptop.
My university laptop survived me and my niece. And a unfortunate interaction with sweet and sour sauce.
Fortunate interaction with sweet and sour sauce. Hang on, let me double check the stickers on here and make sure there's nothing inappropriate. I'm realizing I don't actually remember. Okay, no, we're good. My very stickered university laptop.
Oh, you were checking to make sure you didn't have any swear words?
Yes, I don't. It's a lot of different code stuff. And a new burger.
I remember that laptop.
Oh god, this thing's so heavy. I did not sticker the inside of this one. I'm so sad I wasn't allowed to keep my laptop from 2 jobs ago at Bold.
Okay.
Because I had a fantastic sticker collection on that, including somebody gave me a sticker that was a brain, but it was like yarn and being knitted. It was a knitted brain sticker. I loved it. And I couldn't get it off the laptop without destroying it. And I wasn't allowed to keep the laptop. Like, I offered to like fully pay for the laptop 90% so I could keep the sticker collection. And they wouldn't let me do it. And I'm sad about it still.
I still don't know why you stickered your work laptop.
I was in for the long haul for that job. I intended to stick around forever.
Phaedra, what?
Loved that job.
You need food now. Where were you a half hour ago when it was time for lunch?
Sherry says, I'm not sure laptops existed when I was in university. Okay, where are the yarn balls here? What is going on? Where are these strings going? What are they attached to? Help. Help.
Oh, hello.
Oh, help. Oh,
okay,
no,
you explained to the internet
where you go?
that you want lunch now. And you didn't want lunch 30, 40 minutes ago when I had time to feed you lunch.
Oh,
then it has to be now. You explained that to the internet.
On the stream, it just looks like you're talking to the side of your frame. Because Phaedra's not.
I know, she's trying to get closer to the camera. Listen, this is what I'm supposed to be working on. Ma'am, let's go.
Right.
Come on.
I'll hold off starting the timer till Jocelyn gets back.
I swear, guys. Good news is you get to hear me complain at my cat the whole time I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can see a cat butt. It's not a frame on the stream, though. Oh, hola to Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. How are you doing? Needs to come
get her lunch.
I'm going to start working on my thing, but I won't start the timer till Jocelyn gets back. Working on my thing here being I'm unraveling stuff. Sad. Oh, I pulled out the wrong gray ball, I think. Or is that a string from my... No, I don't know. I don't know where all the strings are going. There's too many strings going on in here. I have too many strings.
It's not a good sign.
No. It's a bad sign. Apparently our internet is also opinionated. If you get a moment, could you voice an opinion on my question over in Rav? Sure, I can do that when we're done here.
I haven't. I've hit the wall on how much time I can spend on screens before I've made it to Rav the last few days.
I'm terrible and keep forgetting that Rav exists, so when we're done here, remind me to put a block in my calendar for checking Rav. Because apparently if I don't have calendar reminders, I don't function as a human being in society.
Well done. You're adulting great. Yeah, I can do that for you. I
I'm doing
have a very,
so
very,
well.
very harsh deadline that I cannot adjust, stretch, move around, or fix in any way, shape, or form. I can spend exactly that much time looking at a screen and no more.
Okay, we've got the white unraveled. It's a good thing this yarn is just a little bit sticky because I have a lifeline in the body, but I don't have a lifeline in the sleeves.
Well, I showed her where her food is, so she's on her own if she doesn't eat it. You can always just ask the question here and we can answer it for you right here, too.
Oh, there's also, yeah, we could do that too.
We can just answer it here. Okay. There we go. I've made it back. Nice.
Shall I start a timer?
Yes, please.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, sprint.
Okay.
There's always that moment when I click the button and nothing happens because, you know, a second has to pass first. And that first second just seems just unreasonably long. I always think something's broken.
Like every time?
Oh, it's an MCAL related question, but it might be spoilery, so didn't want to ask it here.
Well, if it's spoilery, we won't answer the question.
Maybe this question itself contains spoilers, so.
Yeah.
Oh, and hello to Liz.
That's fair. Hey, Liz. Yeah, no, there's been a couple that have wandered in where I've had to go, like, we can't, because that's secret information right now.
So we're at clue 5 on Monday, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, got my sleeves attached.
Spoiler, clue 5 is a break.
I mean, we hinted at that with the cleric needs a long rest.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I did that part right. But I did not do the underarms correctly. I took too many stitches out.
I swear, I shoved extra needles in this project bag. But where they are, I don't know. Okay, that's fine.
Come on, little knot. There we go. So. I believe I took 20 stitches out of here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20. Yes. And I was only supposed to take 5, so I need to take 5 off each end. 2.
Question is, can Jocelyn tell where she is in her own pattern design? We'll find out.
Ooh, we will find out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that out of here. No, you can't tell, or no to the cat?
No to the cat. I heard her meow at me, and I just said no. I don't even think about it. I just respond at this point. I think these are too small. I think these are too small.
Ooh, Melanie's here.
Phaedra.
This day started at 2 a.m. The fairground socks are proving to require too much brain right now. Yeah, if your day started at 2 a.m. Holy, that is too early for a day to start.
That's very early.
That's the time my day ends frequently. It's way too early for a day to start. Ooh, Liz has nachos for lunch. I want nachos. And Debbie says the fairground socks by Kay Jones. They're a beauty when done. Gonna have to look these up.
Does anybody know what US number size 6mm is?
I want to say it's like somewhere 5 to 8. I don't, but I don't know specifically which one.
Well, it's because I realized I I was going to read the stitch gauge, but I'm on my phone, and that's where my magnifying app is.
Oh.
So I have
that's
no
a
idea how
problem.
big these needles are.
Oh dear.
It's an issue for me. Okay.
Melanie says, I think it's US 10.
Yeah, because US 1 is a 2.25 millimeter.
And I want to say a 4 millimeter is like a US 6. 5 millimeters US 8. Okay, I have removed stitches.
I thought I brought them in here with me.
All right, I need my pattern. Don't mind me being on my phone. That's where my pattern is.
Hey, I'm still looking for my spare needles, so.
Okay.
I've got the ones for the sock. I've got the ones for my swatch, which actually will tell me if I'm pretty close to a 4 millimeter or not.
All right,
These
join the
needles.
body and the sleeves.
Because I know
a
my
6 millimeter
swatch.
is a US 10, says this pattern.
Oh, wonderful. Well, for sure, I know I'm knitting my swatch on a 4 millimeter. So if I find the
Sherry
hole to
says
4
my
millimeter,
6.5 is a US 10. Interesting.
I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. So if that's a 4, the next size up on the gauge is 4.5. Then it's 5. Okay, so no, I am definitely not on a 6 millimeter needle, which I need to be on for this shawl, which means I need to figure out where my spare needles fell down. Which I was going to have to do for the next sprint anyway, because I need those spare needles, because I have to recast on my librarian.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
So what I love doing is casting on things 3 or 4 times.
Right for the left sleeve. Okay. So if I take
Did I leave them in the living room? Quick, guys, where did I put my spare needles? The internet has the answer.
Absolutely, we do.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Half of my life is spent wandering around looking for my stuff.
If I pick up these stitches, according to Google, 6 millimeter is a US 10. This is what we have decided.
Anchor, where are my needles? Did you mess with them? Did you mess with your mother's needles? Because you would.
Entirely possible.
You absolutely would. You beast. You beast. Where did you put them? I know you didn't do it. I'm just blaming you. Because I can see you right now. It changes everything I'm going to work on. Because now I can't work on 2 of the projects I was going to work on. Because I need those bloody spare needles wherever I put them.
That safe place?
No, it's not a safe place. Oh, maybe here? Oh, yeah, I got lucky. I don't put needles in safe places. Even I'm not that daft. But I'm pretty daft. No.
Ah. Sherry says metal needles and bad lighting, so her 6.5s are in fact a 10.5.
Oh, I'm feeling so fair. What do I have in this bag? I have a 6 millimeter just in the bag. Well, that's gonna be good.
I am grateful for sticky yarn.
Okay, so it also means I know where my my Christmas ball gauge marker is. Because now that I have 2 other gauge markers, I found the one I was looking for.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how that works, right?
Well, yeah. As soon as you replace the thing that you can't find, you find it.
Yes. Every time. Every time. But I'm able to see the holes.
Okay. That's a sleeve attached. Well, that's a sleeve on a needle.
5, 5, 5, 5, 6. That
And
makes this a
then
6mm. Which means the one still in the Christmas ball is a 5mm. I
I'm
started
attaching
the
this
body
to
pattern
here.
on the librarian. So I was done the ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I'm not going to particularly like the fabric once it's washed and stretched a bit. It's going to be just too loose, like so close it hurts, but it's too loose. So, and with me, right, I have to rip and start all over again. So I had to rip everything out. So I have to recast that on today.
Boo.
Down on us and stay with the smaller needle size the whole way through. So I was waffling between the two, so I knew there was a chance I'd end up not liking the fabric, or liking the fabric but not liking the pattern definition. And I definitely, it's too loose for the pattern, so nope, gotta go down.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Okay, now I can transfer my stitches off the holding needle and onto a working needle. Then I can get started. Nice.
Mary joined us in chat, says hi.
Hi. Oddly enough, this still took less time than it would had if I put it on waist yarn.
So much easier to pick up stitches when you've got a lifeline in here. I'm really happy I'll have this lifeline in.
I'm so excited to look at lifeline in. It's way less stressful for you.
So much easier.
Way less stressful. There we go. That's better. I've got a row of eyelets, which means I need to do 2 more rows of eyelets because I think I'm in the real eyelet sections. Oh man, I forgot how nice this Buttercup DK is. So smushy. So good. I have to try to remember today to see if I can find that red heart color I want.
Which color? For which project?
For that snoot.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, that I want to make. Oh, what's the YouTuber's name? Aw, man.
Oh, something not, I think.
I am so bad with names. I'm gonna have to go find it. Just tickles me pink.
I
love people.
Question is about the first clue, so hopefully you can answer. It's just for context.
First clue? No,
it would spoil in
spoilers.
terms of details you've released via the podcast. Interested to hear your thoughts. Mary says,
sure.
I'm confused. Will there be a pattern update for the Choose Your Own Adventure on Monday?
Yes.
Yes, there's an update, but you get a knitting rest.
We're sharing other stuff, not pattern, so that everybody who's lamenting the very long rows, because they're very long rows right now,
they're very
can
long
have
rows.
a bit of time. And to give a bit of a break, because it's a big shot. Like, it's a 6-skein shot. Like, she's a beast.
Beefy.
So I shared how I like to make bannock with a basic bannock recipe, which I actually had to go look up because I never measure bannock ingredients anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, cool. I just go, that looks right. I've been making bannock for a very long time, so it's fine for me. So I went and looked up measurements for people, and I actually measured the last time I made bannock. And yeah, no, where I go, no, that looks good. It's not what the measurement is, so it's fine. And then I shared some ways I make bannock fancy because it's one of my go-to snacks. Though I rarely make just plain bannock unless the boys are coming over. They really like plain bannock. I like bannock with like extra, you know?
Stuff. Toppings. Additions.
I like bannock with blueberries or chocolate chips or bannock cinnamon rolls or, you know, the
More of a
fun stuff.
scone type situation.
Mm-hmm. Bannock and berries is amazing.
I mean, blueberry scones are amazing. I can only imagine bannock and berries is amazing.
It is quite good. Section 1, 2, 3. Section
Oh,
1.
no, don't drop the stitch. Don't drop the stitch.
1.
Maybe I should have put the sleeves on a lifeline. I like to live dangerously.
Where? Oh, it's because you're my increase edge. That's why you're bumpy on me. Okay, fine. Like, why are you weird? Like, you're weird because there's eyelet lace, which is opening up more than the squishy garter at the moment because it's not blocked. And I keep pulling on it. That's why. It's gonna look weird, but I don't feel like tinking another row, so.
Cute cat there we go. There's
And it's my pattern.
back to the body.
I can absolutely make it as weird and as wonderful as I want. Because it's my shop.
In fact, you are allowed to do as you please for your own shawl.
With my own pattern? Thanks, man. What I need to find, and I don't know where it went, and I'm persistent and patient about these things, is my bag of stitch markers. I don't currently know where they are.
Some other safe place? Or a place that made sense at the time?
Place that made sense at the time. I probably moved it to get it out of the way to play cards one night. Or that it went somewhere from there.
That happens.
Where? I'm not sure. Where? I'm not sure, but I will find it. Hey, I found, it took what, months? Months. Found my headphone. Squishy.
Oh, where was that?
I don't even know. I was just sweeping and then it was there on the pile of dirt and I was like, where have you been, buddy?
Behind, beside, underneath.
Somewhere. Somewhere in the broom caught it. So, okay, cool, whatever. The important part is it's back. So now I'm going to try to argue to reattach it to my headphones. Because I like my headphones. My headphones work great. It's the microphone on my freaking computer I need to replace.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have wireless earbuds, but technically those headphones are wireless. I just don't have a dongle for the computer, so I have no way to have a Wi-Fi signal for them to connect to.
Right.
So I need to buy a dongle first.
Might be a place to start.
Then I need to save for microphone. Okay. I'm gonna get like no work done because I spent most of the sprint trying to find my tools.
Well, you got 6.5 minutes.
These are very long rows.
Oh, Elisa says, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
And Mary says, I'm having The most fun with this shawl pattern. I'm a JD so far. I love the questions.
That's a nice rotation.
Melanie's off to have a nap. We'll see you later.
Well, her morning was very early.
Yeah, this is just very, very too early. Very too early.
I too would also have a nap.
Okay.
Baker's hours.
I have reattached the sleeves. Everything's on one needle.
Okay.
I now have 5.5 minutes to knit around.
Okay. I mean, you've got bulky
First
yarn,
round
so
behind the left shoulder. Nice marker for beginning of round. Knit 2 rounds. Okay. Well,
okay.
I don't have a stitch marker handy
Important
that's
question.
big enough for these needles, so it's going to be progress keeper. Yes. What's
I
your
have
important question?
Important question. There's
Yes.
only 10 stitches total on your underarm, not 20.
I took 5 stitches out on each side, so let me just recheck.
Count that because you're supposed to have 5 stitches on either side, so 10 stitches
8,
total.
10.
This was the
yes,
mistake
I
we
have
made
10
last
stitches.
time. Okay.
There,
Before
yes,
you re-knit the whole thing.
I do in fact have 10 stitches on the underarm of the body to match the 10 stitches on the underarm of the sleeve now. I don't know how I didn't notice that the first time.
Neither do I, but let's not do this a third time.
Oh my god. I don't want to do this a third time.
That's why I was like, wait a minute, stop, check.
Stop, double check.
Stop, double check.
Are you sure? Have you checked?
Have you checked?
Okay.
Must have done something right because she's not bugging me. I don't know where she is, but she's not here bugging me, so I'll take it.
Off causing trouble.
Oh, probably. She could be lounging on the fresh clothes on the bed that are folded and waiting to be put away. She could be on the squishy chair that's just all cushion. She could be behind the computer for all I know.
3.5 minutes left in the sprint.
Hey, I might make it to the end of the row. Technically, I don't need to make this shawl bigger. It's just I don't make small shawl. Like, I don't wear 2-skein shawls. So I'm adapting and lengthening this Endless Summer Adventure pattern, which means I should do an update for it is what I should do and re-release it. I should do that. To reflect the size of shawl I actually wear, which is much bigger than 2 skeins. That's personal preference. Which is still not too bad, like 3 skeins of DK weight yarn. That's not a bad size for a shawl.
Nah.
We're not quite into extreme Jocelyn shawl territory, but we're getting there.
It's not
Well,
6 skeins of fingering weight.
It's not 6 skeins. I mean, I'd say I have regrets, but I warned people. We warned people super far in advance that it was a big shawl.
I have regrets in the making process, but the finished object.
I really like the finished object,
epic.
so a lot of the regrets kind of disappear. As soon as I had to finish, I was like, oh, but you're really pretty.
I know. I murdered my hand to do this, but it's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Elisa says, D&D is interesting now since I think we end up sharing one single brain cell. I mean, those are the best parties, where you all share one single brain cell. The best decisions get made.
The worst decisions get made.
No. The best decisions get made.
The worst decisions get made. It involves cannons. Then before you know it, I'm negotiating. And throwing
that's how
a former party member under the bus.
My character ended up releasing a demon from captivity because
Yeah, we've done
he didn't
that.
have the brain cell at the time.
No. We've done that. So I'm excited. Session 0, our main storyline, we're setting aside because one of the guys at the table wants to DM a 8-level module that he is really interested in, and we said sure. So we've set aside our main campaign to do the little 8-level module so that he can play through it because he wants to run it and see what it interacts with when you give it live people. So I built a Twilight Cleric to play for that 8-level mod. She likes to push buttons and open doors. Endlessly curious. Like, has to know how the story ends when she starts the new book. Read the last chapter first. Like that kind of a person.
Oh, chaos.
Her flaw is her curiosity. So like I'm like cat level curious about everything.
Beep beep. It is
It
break time. We have finished our first WIP sprint. How'd everybody do?
should
And
be
also
fun
hello
to
to
play.
Tracy.
Hey Tracy. It will be interesting to see because she will be very different from my salt of the earth older sibling protector brave cleric I've been playing. Like, well, I still be like her spell choices will be different. Her decisions in battle will be different. She's set up to be a combat melee cleric, so like I can wade in with my warhammer and smack people. I'm built to do it.
That's
I'm
cool.
not built to stealth at all.
Battle cleric.
Battle cleric, yeah. Who's
I don't think I've ever seen a battle cleric played.
It's just gonna end poorly. I am
Combat
curious to a
medic.
fault.
Okay.
I need to think of some good one-liners. To express frustration or invoke my god. My god is from the Greyhawk pantheon, so
okay.
I picked the Weaver.
Okay.
I'm like, which explains why I'm solitary and I function and I work alone, because most of her followers are solitary. They tend to work alone. They're not really into centralized studies or anything like that. So it explains why I'd be traveling. That would just be what we do. I'd be accustomed to being on my own.
You've got a hammer and you worship the Weaver.
Mm-hmm. Not evil,
like
neutral. A neutral god.
There's some joke about, because in weaving there's like there's a beater, I think, where you shove all the threads down or something. I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere about.
There's a joke in there somewhere
about beating on something.
Well, her symbol is a spindle with 3 threads coming out of it.
Oh, I like it.
That's my holy symbol, and that's pretty much why I picked that god. I was told no evil, but not to pick an alignment. So I don't know if my character's neutral or good yet, because I'm not supposed to pick that yet. So I picked a neutral-ish god. That made sense to me. And I will find out the rest tonight when I am at T&D. Which will be via distance, sadly, because one of the house that we play at has a head cold running through it right now. So nobody wants me. Nobody wants
that. No.
I don't want to be near that either. I don't like being sick.
Tracy's going to work on clue 4, but I really need to concentrate. Yes.
Yeah.
Which was my clue 4? Not me looking at my own thing like, what was clue 4? Oh yeah, it was that.
Wasn't as easy as my clue 2. Not as hard as Diana's clues 3, 2, or 4 though.
Yeah. I accidentally picked things that were more challenging than I realized. Because I swatched them way back, and then I'm like, yeah, this seems good. And then I didn't think about how much work it was going to be to do a giant shawl. But then I was committed.
that's how things happen for me too. So that's fine. I think I ended up ripping clue 7, like 3, 4, 5 times before I settled on what I wanted, which was not fun. People, not fun. I
No,
did not enjoy
it's
that
not.
process. Not enjoy that process.
This says, lunch was good, not much knitting done. I'm determined to finish my sock today, only a couple more decreases until I do straight foot knitting. Nice.
I should work on my sock this week. That's what I should do.
Am I doing, for second sprint, am I doing the librarian or the granny stripe blanket? I feel like librarian had more votes last time. Poor granny stripe blanket didn't get any votes.
That's because we know you want to work on it, so we don't have to push you to do it. So it's the bottom of the list because you're going to work on it anyway.
Fair. Lisa says,
I finished the ribbing
on
one sock, so I got to finish the ribbing on the other sock. I wanted to try ribbing on the small circulars. I don't enjoy ribbing on the small circulars. I like knitting the sock on the small circulars, but I am not enjoying the ribbing, so I'm going to...
Sherry says, hey, I voted blanket.
Sherry did vote blanket.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm going to work on the blanket anyway, guys.
I know. I'll do the librarian. Need my little snail. Is it a little snail? Here you go. My little snail measuring tape. I need 8 centimeters of ribbing. Where am I at?
2 inches. Well, ish.
I need about 3 more centimeters of ribbing.
Yeah. I'm going to work on transferring in the ribbing.
All right, I'm going to start the timer for the second sprint.
Good idea.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Sprint.
Go time.
Lisa was saying, my bad habit is being stubborn and not running away. That's how my character got in a magic ritual that could have ended up with a new character. Oh. As, you know, as it happens. As you do.
Well, as you do. Bare bones, when you're playing a cleric, no matter really what kind of cleric you're playing, if you grow attached to your party, like you should as you build camaraderie with people, you will stand between them and the thing that'll hurt them. Unless you're evil. In which case, I mean, you're not going to. Because you don't want to see your party members go down. Like, you don't want to see them hurt. So inevitably, I end up getting into combat. My clerics are like, if you want to charge into combat, that's cool. I'll support you from behind. But if it's bad, I won't leave a party member behind. Like, I won't leave someone behind. So I tend to get into trouble. Or I have to be within a set range to cast a spell. So sometimes I know I'm taking a risk, but I gotta do it to do the thing that the party needs me to do. So I have gone down several times as a cleric, and I will continue to do so. It's just every once in a while, it's just, that's how it's gotta work.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're casting Bane on multiple creatures, you have to be within 30 feet.
We had the cleric's church with the lawbearer babysitting our rogue who died and lost his memory coming back.
You know, there should be consequences for resurrection spells. Like, I really, like, you can come back, but you lose something.
Death get in the way of a good story.
Absolutely, it should. There should be weight to it, so you think about it before you do it. As it is, I'm very strict as a player. Absolutely none of the clerics I have ever built will ever buy the diamonds required for Revivify because I cannot use that spell to save myself. And it's 300 gold pieces. That is a party gift. It is a gift I give to the party, so the party will fund those diamonds. Or I don't bring them back. That's how it works.
Again, if I was gonna play a cleric, I could be a very different cleric than your cleric.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this one will even bother with Revivify ever. I don't know if it's a thing she'll actually choose. We're starting at level 1. She doesn't have access to that right now.
Well, yeah.
But Gertrude absolutely will cast Revivify, but she's a grave cleric, so she's not funding it because death is natural. If you want her to intercede, sure, no problem. She's not paying for it. But Gertrude's also not a battle cleric. Like she's not designed to wander into combat, so it makes me very nervous when I have to. Because I've gone down a couple of times doing it. Winifred, however, she is designed to wander in and take some hits. And she's got the armor and the stats to do it. But I definitely went with Jack of all trades, being a solitary person.
Oh, that's Jack of all trades is an amazing trait. Feat.
No, yeah, it's a feat. It's on my list. I have to get that cleared in session 0. I also want Warcaster. Yes.
Been trying to figure out how to play a cleric in Baldur's Gate because one of my party members is a cleric, and I don't know what clerics do in battle. I also discovered I don't have no idea what rogues do in battle. So that's been interesting to learn how to effectively use completely different classes.
I'd like to get Baldur's Gate at some point. It looks like fun.
It's D&D battles and then also a dating sim.
Yeah. I mean, how much fun did I get out of Boyfriend Dungeon? A ton.
Oh yeah. I need to play through it again now that there's all the updates.
You haven't dated your axe yet?
I have not dated my axe yet.
What are you doing with your life?
I'm playing Baldur's Gate.
Mistake.
I know. Minor regrets.
College levels are hard. There's never coffee in the cafeteria. I feel like that's a design oversight.
At least this is the rogue. Accidentally got the party attacked in the middle of the night. The rogue and the wizard went down, but I think I got like 0 damage. Our party has a group fund of money and diamonds. I think they were sleeping when they died.
Some groups do, some groups don't. I mean, to be fair, Gertrude is sitting on 100 platinum she hasn't told the party about, so like, at gentle repose. So like, if somebody goes down and they still haven't bought the diamond, she will absolutely liberate most of the funds for the diamond out of their funds. And just go buy a diamond with using the rest if she needs to, some of her own money. But their butts will be staying dead for a week. Like, there will be payment. They'll be like, and have you learned your lesson? Except for one player, except he's not in the group anymore.
Oh.
The only one who earned a free pass is the only character who would come rescue the cleric when she got in a tight spot. Everybody else just ignored her. Well, that one, he would have gotten healed for free. I did heal him for free a lot because would rescue me when I got in a tight spot. Even if it did mean I would occasionally wake up being carried over the shoulder fireman Gary style while he was running away from combat, being very confused as to what was going on.
What is going on? What did I just do? Oh, there. Okay, got it. I fixed it. It's fine. It's fine.
I am slowly transferring stitches from a small circular needle to magic loop because I have discovered, well, I enjoy knitting socks on a circular. The small circular's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I do not enjoy doing ribbing on a small circular. And apparently I have a just nick in this thumb fingernail
Oh no.
that is catching threads. That's not good. That's not going to help me at all. I think it's because I can't see the stitches and I have to feel them. And it's fine knitting, but there's just enough of a difference when you're ribbing. Then I'm struggling with the smaller circulars about it.
Hmm.
Which isn't too bad. It means I can knit the socks on the smaller circulars. And then that last row of knitting before I start the ribbing, I can just transfer to a longer cord. So that's not bad. It's the same as like starting a shawl on a smaller needle and then.
Yeah. Jude says 20 rows of ribbing for extra stretchy top on a sock seems like a good idea until you get to the 15th row on the second sock cuff.
Yes.
I don't count
And your
rows. I
brain
just
goes,
go like, they're about the same length. This feels about right.
feels about right.
Alice's finished a pair of mittens.
Oh, really? How in the world are we catching?
Lisa says I played with Hysteria and then I need to ask him, am I being hit on in the game? Yeah, I'm also not sure if I'm being hit on or like sized up for lunch. I do enjoy that character
Depends on
though.
the cleric. Depends on the cleric. Frederick, he hit on everything. Absolutely hit on everything. But I mean, Frederick also had a cloak that billowed dramatically behind him whenever he was in the mood. So Frederick was
I
the aggressor.
desperately want a cloak of billowing, both in game and in real life.
I know, so do I. In real life, I would give anything for a cloak of billowing. Gertrude wouldn't know how to flirt. She'd be really awkward about it. How does a grave cleric flirt? Hi. Want to hang out till you're a corpse? Don't mind me. I just oversee this decomposition over here in the corner.
Enjoys long walks on the beach and watching things decompose.
Oh, enjoys tea time in graveyards. Like, come on. Like, what would that dating profile look like? Worships the god of the dead.
First date idea, picnic in a graveyard.
Yeah, I'd like, well, at least you'd be honest about it, but I don't know what that would happen. And given her background and her backstory, I'm not sure if she would be truly comfortable with a partner. Given her background has her doing her beginning training at a temple, she would have seen the grief that the remaining partner of a couple would have gone through. So I don't know. I think she'd probably be very cautious about it.
I don't think I have ever remotely considered romance with any of the characters I've ever played. Like, it just wasn't remotely a thing that was coming up.
Oh, not the group I'm currently playing with. They don't know how to roleplay flirting to save their souls. But it is something that I want to know how a character would react, and like the more I contemplate the choices they would make as a person, rather than the choices I would make as the player, helps me build a person better. I don't need to read the last chapter first. I'm okay not opening every door in a dungeon. So it'll be very difficult for me to play someone who has to know what's on the other side. It'll be a stretch for me.
I gotta know all the things. I would never read the last chapter first, though. I know, I don't. Crazy people.
Yeah, but it would be a struggle for you to play someone who is far more similar to my personality profile.
Yeah.
I've seen you play Dwarven Fortress. You would not do Unflappable well.
No, I'm very flappable. I flap quite a lot.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just different. So it's an interesting way to stretch my brain set so that I can think in other ways instead of perhaps only thinking in the one way that I'm used to. I do tend to play humans and half elves, mostly because I like the bonuses. Mostly because I like the bonuses.
I like halflings for the lucky feature, whatever that's called. But rerolling ones.
Our group doesn't allow for the luck feat. We don't allow the broken stuff in.
But luck. Rerolling
We
my
don't
copious
let the broken
ones.
stuff. You roll enough ones, it's a problem. We start rolling on the magic table.
Lisa says my next character hopefully is a grave cleric, and she ran away from an arranged marriage to be a cleric. Grave, in my mind, would be convincing my DM to use the lawbearer. I don't know anything about the Pantheon in D&D, or any of the D&Ds.
Depends on the background. Because there's many, like, the ones you would use in certain campaign settings, you won't use in other campaign settings, because they're different worlds. And then Homebrew has their own Pantheon, so they tweak them, right?
Yeah. The one I probably know the most about is the Critical Role Pantheon, but even then, it's like, not much.
Yeah, that's fair. In the one that Gertrude plays in, because I know just enough about the other centers of the world and how the DM had them split up, I chose to come from the Southern Expanse because I know the least about Egyptian mythology. Which means I'm butting my head up against my education the least. So that's why I chose that one out. I don't know anything about the Greyhawk.
Started. I am falling asleep right now. I don't know what happened.
Oh.
I don't know.
Did you drink your caffeine?
Yes, I had a cup of coffee before we started. I've got another cup of coffee right here. I've got my water. I ate food. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're prepared. That's the problem.
Too prepared?
Too prepared. I ate my protein chickpea cookies for breakfast. I scarfed a couple handfuls for lunch. Dinner will probably be quite large.
I wonder if I'm
I've got
going
some
out for dinner
carrots left in
tonight
the
again.
fridge. I should make some carrot ginger soup today.
Ooh. Carrot ginger soup is good.
This is very good.
There's a champion West Coast swing dancer in town this weekend. She was doing private lessons yesterday that I didn't go to. And she's doing workshops right now that I'm obviously not at. But there's a dance party tonight that I am going to. And if anybody lets me know where dinner's happening, I might go join them for that.
Wasn't there a dinner last night?
There was also a dinner last night that I went to. So I don't know if I'll go out for dinner again. I got to have pistachio crusted salmon. It's pretty good.
That sounds tasty.
Just under
Right.
7 minutes left in this sprint. I think I need to stand up and stretch when this sprint's done, because maybe that'll wake me up. Wake me up before you go. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I thought I knew more of the words.
I don't want to drop any stitches.
Chest's been so quiet this sprint, everybody must be working so hard. I get to work on the blanket next sprint.
Ooh, lovely.
That's what I have to say.
Uh-huh. I was just thinking I should get up and go get my walnut date cake that I made.
Ooh, that does sound good.
And munch on that. Was my first time making the recipe. There's some tweaks I want to make to it, but like I don't think I'll do it in cake format. I think I'll do it as a bar, like a brownie bar kind of idea. It's vegan, so doesn't have the same sort of rise. And it's definitely not sweet, which I really like. It's got a nice moist and density to it that I think would make a really good bar. But I think I'll put the walnuts in the dough or in the batter just before I pour it into the pan. And then I want to add a bit of sugar to it because I like my desserts to have a touch of sweet to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll do a light that when you do the powdered sugar shake over top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm doing the hand gesture, like everybody knows what that is.
Mary says,
when
now
you
I'm
do
yawning.
The sifty.
I'm sorry. Sifty?
When you do the sifty with the powdered sugar over something.
Is this
so you
the
get
dance
this
move
nice,
now?
like...
You just like...
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. You know what I'm talking about. When you have a cake that's good and it doesn't need icing sugar, but you want to make it look pretty on top.
Yes.
That's what I
learned how to make sourdough cinnamon rolls the other day, so I think I'm doing that for my next Experimental Tuesday.
Yep.
This past one I did steamed eggs, and then I further experimented by trying to do them in the microwave, and that was bad. It was so bad. I swear I saw a recipe that said you could do it in the microwave, but it was bad. Don't cook eggs in the microwave.
Yeah, most people don't.
No. It was a mistake.
Not without a special thing.
I thought I could do it, but they just bubbled over, and then I had half-cooked egg soup in the microwave. Like, not in a dish in the microwave, like in the microwave, and I did that like 3 days ago, and I'm still scrubbing and re-scrubbing dishes because I keep finding more little bits of egg that I missed the first time and leaving it to soak for longer so I can actually get the bits of egg off. Don't cook eggs in the microwave. It's a bad idea. Steamed eggs is a great idea. That's delicious. Highly recommend. Microwaved eggs are a bad idea. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Well, I found a couple of recipes that recreate just egg. So I want to try that. Since I obviously don't eat eggs.
Reasonable. Like, it's something else recently. I have the stuff for cheesecake. Make some little mini Oreo cheesecakes. I gotta do some baking
I
this
need
weekend.
cashews. If I can get some cashews this month, I'll have the base for cashew cheesecake.
I've done that.
Quite good.
It's not bad. As a cream cheese substitute.
Yeah.
Like, it's not exactly right, but it's not bad.
All right,
Lisa
there's
says
no
if
way
my
I
cat
didn't
Ollie
mess
had
up.
been near when you did the handshaking, he would have attacked the screen. I already had to shoo him away.
Entirely possible. Entirely possible. Yeah, I was listening on my phone to the Fiber Friends this morning, and Louise had her granddaughter Scarlett. So every once in a while, you could hear Scarlett make sounds. Phaedra would stare at the phone, something fierce, like she had no idea what was going on. What noises are coming out of this machine?
These are not normal human
Very
noises.
confused. Yeah, she was a very confused cat this morning.
Got 1 minute left in the sprint.
Made me giggle. All right.
Could really go for like one single cookie. I don't have one single cookie. I'd have to make a dozen cookies at least.
I don't see the problem with this.
I'd have to put in the effort to make a dozen cookies just to have one cookie. And I don't want to put in the effort is the problem. I just want to have a cookie. I don't want to make the cookie.
I made cookies this morning so I could have chickpea protein cookies for breakfast.
Oh no, I dropped a stitch. Don't drop the stitch. Don't drop the stitch. Okay.
But that's because I'm weird and eat weird foods.
Lisa says Louise is nice. And oh, beep beep.
Louise is delightful.
Debbie says Scarlett was cute waving at us all.
It's on my phone, so I didn't see that, but I could hear her every once in a while.
More ribbing has happened.
Good.
It doesn't look any different than it did, but I swear there's more ribbing than there was. Click. That's violent. Okay. I did a whole centimeter of ribbing. So I've got 6 centimeters now. I need to do 2 more centimeters.
Well, that's good, because if you follow in rotation, you get your blanket for a sprint, then you're back to your Steinkrieger, and then you're back to your librarian.
I think this seems pretty good. I need to stand up and stretch a moment and like make this room slightly less stretch.
Okay. Big stretch.
Debbie says now I want something sweet. Maybe I'll make some. Oh, Sherry says cookie in a mug. You're so smart, Sherry. Oh, Debbie's gonna make brownies with walnuts in them.
Yeah, those are good.
I like
I
your
was telling
thinking,
my
Sherry.
friend too. He was driving me to Warhammer on Sunday. I was telling him that I was making things and I put walnuts in it. He's like, I don't like walnuts. I'm like, well, I'm not feeding it to you, so why do I care that you don't like walnuts? You don't like shredded coconut. I'm not taking your taste profile seriously, sir. When I make things for you, I make exactly one snack treat for you, and that's your granny's Christmas crack. Because your granny taught me how to make it because you really like it.
Oh, Karen's in chat. Good evening, everyone. Couldn't make it earlier. We had to go to IKEA. Ooh,
That's
IKEA
fair.
on a
IKEA
Saturday.
was in the news. IKEA was in the news today. Or on the
What did
radio
IKEA
this
do?
morning. They are lowering their furniture prices.
Oh. That's good, I guess. But at what cost? How? That's a whole thing. I'm not going to go there.
It's a whole thing. Who knows?
Lisa wants to know what's Granny's Christmas crack?
I'll be back. Oh, soda crackers, stovetop caramel, drizzle, bacon oven with chocolate chips, add peanuts, break apart from frozen. There's no measurements. It's a Ukrainian grandmother recipe. That's why I can't teach it to anybody. Because there are no measurements.
You just throw some stuff on till it looks right.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. There we go.
I'm sure
You know
there's
when you're
tons
trying to
of
reach something and you
variations.
just like keep like just missing it?
I'm sure there's tons of variations. I'm sure there's recipes out there with measurements. I'm absolutely positive I was taught by a Ukrainian grandmother who didn't let me measure anything. And
Measuring is
showed me
for
once and then
chumps.
expected me to remember it. So she showed me once, expected me to remember it, and that was over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. So go by memory, I still know how to do it.
Nice.
Ha ha ha. Here's a snack.
This says sounds good, except for the peanuts. I don't like them.
Which is fine. You don't have to add peanuts. She just added peanuts.
Seems like a highly customizable, add what you want sort of recipe.
The big things are the soda cracker base layer.
Yeah.
Some people try to make it fancy. Soda crackers work fine. Does not need to be fancy. On a cookie sheet lined with parchment because you're pouring caramel over top of it. And then she added chocolate chips till it looked right. No measurements. No measurements for the butter and sugar to make the caramel either.
No. You just do it till it looks
No.
right.
And you throw it in the oven till it looks good. And then you schmooze the chocolate chips. Sprinkle the peanuts on. Whack it in the fridge till it cools, or the freezer till it cools. And then you break it into chunks.
I like it. Karen says those recipes are the best. Mary says a dash of this, a handful of that, a pinch of something else. Lisa wants to know, would these be too much sugar for D&D?
Can there be too much sugar for D&D?
That's my question. I guess it depends what your party's into. But in general, I don't think you can get too elaborate with the D&D snacks. There's no such thing as too much snack by any metric.
No, I mean, admittedly, there's one person at our D&D table who's diabetic, so for them it would be too much sugar.
Okay.
But like for the rest of us, no, I'd be fine.
Just make sure there's at least one snack that everybody can eat. Or like each person can eat at least one snack. And you're good.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, let's be fair. When we sit down at the D&D table, 9 times out of 10, what am I eating? Slices of apple with peanut butter, or what's the sesame butter?
Tahini?
That's it. That's 9 times out of 10. It's the only snack I can have out of that house because the rest of it's got corn in it. Hello, where'd you come from, monster?
Nothing wrong with like nut spreads on apples, though. That's a pretty solid snack.
I quite enjoy it. So, I mean, it wouldn't work for someone with a nut allergy, but it works for me. So. But I can't have the potato chips or the pretzels or the pops or like any of that stuff. So,
it's time for the blanket. It's blanket time. It's blanket time.
Is it blanket time?
It's blanket time. I'm so excited.
Uh-oh,
Can you
I
tell
forgot.
I'm excited?
Just.
How much of my, like, 10 grams left do you think I can get through? Oh, I see a Phaedra nose.
Why? I just moved the thing because I need to open up a pattern. Which means I need to turn my computer on. Which means I don't need you. I don't need you. Bob, cathead. We've already played the game I Take Things Away From You today. I don't want to.
But it's such a good game.
Except it was my lacy foundation garment and her nails.
Oh.
So Mom wasn't enjoying the game as much as I think she was. Where did I save the librarian card again? Good question. Green off screen.
All right, let me know when you're ready and I'll start a timer.
I'm never ready. Go ahead and start a timer.
All right. Third sprint starting in 3, 2, 1. Start.
I forgot to open up the librarian. I have too many patterns. Guys, I need to organize this. Holy schnickerdoodles.
I know, I got a lot of patterns too. And they're not all on Ravelry. Lisa says Coke is our drink of choice given our ages. Reasonable. I find Coke too sweet now. I don't know when I got old, but a lot of pop is too sweet. Like, not just, oh, there's so much sugar in this, it's so bad for you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just legitimately don't enjoy it. I do not enjoy the flavor. It's too sweet. And I hate it. When did I get old?
About 10 years ago. Aha!
Don't think it was 10 years ago. Somewhere around 5 years ago, maybe.
You've just been lying to yourself.
I mean, 10 years ago, I was still very much, like, in university. Well, okay, yeah. Graduating. I don't think I got old until a couple years after that.
Oh no, you're old as soon as you leave high school. Didn't anyone ever tell you that?
I'm sorry, I didn't have any children in my life to keep me on track with how ancient I was.
Oh no, that's just be standard teaching. You leave high school, you are now considered old. There's no rhyme or reason to it. That's just what you're considered at that point. I'm 41 in March, and I don't feel old. Maybe like 2 or 3 days a month I feel old because I'll wake up and I've slept funny.
No, that
then
feeling.
I feel my age. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't feel old, and then I'll look around, I'll be doing something, I'll be like, wow, I'm technically vintage. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't enjoy those awakenings because in my head, university wasn't that long ago, even though it was fully a decade ago. And I've really had to confront that because I'm trying to convince people in job interviews that I actually have, you know, experience.
Ma'am? Yeah, you're old. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with not being 19 anymore.
There isn't. I just haven't fully come to terms with it yet. I'm still working on it. It's a process. I'm slowly getting there.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I want size 5. Size 5.
People agree with me about things being too sweet. Debbie says, I'm turning 60 this month and I don't feel old, but I am old. I mean, technically, I guess, but yeah, I feel like you're as old as you feel. And other people may have a different perception of that. I don't feel old, but I'm definitely much older than you in high school. Oh, so I actually filmed myself at the end of my pole class this week, and I knew I wasn't good. I knew I wasn't good, but I did not expect it to be that bad. I didn't expect good, but I did not expect that bad.
Where did I put my librarian project?
Like, I was watching the video back, and I'm like, this is the super cringy video of somebody's mom going on a journey of discovery and self-love. That's how I feel about my own video. So that one hurt.
What? 30 what now? 31, 32. How old are you now?
I'll be 33 in March.
Okay. My sister is 2 years my junior. She is 38. She will be 39 in February. She has an 18-year-old daughter this year. She didn't have a child in high school. You are someone's mom.
I am aware that I am old enough to be, but I'm not, so I haven't had that psychological transition.
Okay.
It's intellectual awareness versus like viscerally feeling it.
All I know is I was very, very convinced about my niece's 3rd or 4th birthday. Because I was not in a place to have children, that there would be no children, because I was not doing 4 games and chasing in my 40s. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am standing firm to that decision in my mid late 20s. No. I am too old for that. I would not enjoy it.
That's an entirely reasonable and valid decision.
Haha. But
I don't know, I like kids, but I also don't know if I want them around 24/7, you know? That seems like a lot.
it is a very personalized choice. It's a heck of a commitment. You guys can't even commit to pets.
We don't have pets, A, because rentals, but also B, because allergies. Like, we would need something that doesn't have fur, and those pets tend to be more challenging to care for. We're like more advanced
Fish.
pet ownership.
Fish.
Fish are boring. I don't
Well,
want a
I can't
fish.
help you with that.
I don't want a fish. I want something I can interact with.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself, Douglas? That seems silly. All right.
Karen says, my sense of humor is 14 max. Yeah.
That's fine.
Liz says, I used to drink 3 Cokes a day. I quit several years ago, and now Coke tastes awful to me. I'm caffeine free and do so much less sugar. Cool. I'm definitely not caffeine free, but I don't do a lot of caffeine, and I never have. So I feel like I totally respect when people are like, I have way too much of this thing, so I'm just gonna like completely cut it out of my life and see what happens. But I feel like I don't have that with anything, so I've never tried that, because I don't think it would make a heck of a lot of difference. If I cut out my 1 cup of coffee a day, I don't think is gonna make a difference.
It would, but that's okay.
Aside from annoyingly the caffeine withdrawal headache that apparently comes along with 1 cup of coffee.
Well, that's the first one. You'd have to also deal with a bunch of other things too, but caffeine is a socially acceptable addiction, so it's like chocolate. It's a socially acceptable addiction.
I'm not addicted to chocolate. Not really addicted to caffeine either. It's just the ritual of the hot drink in the morning. I could replace it with something else. I just don't. I tried the molasses drink the other day. I'm very into that. That has become my afternoon drink.
Actually use blackstrap molasses, or just the stuff in your cupboard?
I started trying out just the stuff in my cupboard, but now that I know I like that, I will go and get some actual blackstrap molasses. Because I figure if I didn't like it at all, there was no point in doing it. Or like buying different molasses, but now I know I like it, so I'm going to buy different molasses that actually has useful things in it.
I like molasses cookies, like straight up old fashioned molasses cookies. So I
Mm,
wasn't as worried about that. So I'm like, no, I'll be fine. But I do like the blackstrap molasses in the hot beverage in the morning. Is it going to actually help with anything? I don't know. You have to do these sorts of things for months and then get tests to see, right?
yeah.
So I just had a round of blood work and test levels done. So now was the time to start something new to see how it goes 3 months from now. And I've been doing it daily to see if I'm seeing an increase. Because it does have the elevated things. So like it could help if I absorb it. I just won't know if I'm absorbing it well for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. Well, if
I took the same when I
it's
started doing soy milk really consistently instead
it's
of almond milk or cashew milk.
okay. If
Well,
molasses turns
almond
out
and
to be as
cashew
good a
milk.
source of iron as it apparently is supposed to be, that'll be great.
Yes, it's the magnesium, it's the iron, it's the B vitamins like B6. Like it's there's a lot of stuff in there that is quite helpful. I will happily take. No, soy milk is helping to bump my lower hormone levels out because soy naturally has um, stuff in it that sort of mimics and helps bump your estrogen and stuff, which for me is something I'd like to bump when
Mm-hmm.
possible. But I also like I eat protein cookies for breakfast in the morning because I know protein is better for you than sugar or carbs. Not that I don't love sugar and carbs, because boy, I love sugar and carbs. But the
Mm-hmm.
protein is full, so I wanted cookies for breakfast, so I made them out of chickpeas, which is full of protein. So my brain got a tasty snack, and my body got fuel it needed. So it's all about tricking yourself anyway.
No, I 100% agree. I need to figure out how to do the steamed eggs in a bigger container because
Oh yeah, eggs for breakfast.
the only container I have that's that actually like fits for steaming that I can actually like steam and not like damage things
Yes,
only holds one egg, and I
you
want
just
to
need to
do
buy a
2 or
bigger one.
3 eggs. So I need a bigger container, but I don't have like a steaming safe bigger container. So I need to find one.
Yeah, eggs are an amazing protein source if you can eat them. Absolutely, I miss eggs. I miss eggs a lot.
Susanna says,
I
I can
want
say
to.
truthfully, I'm 10 years older than Tim Hortons.
That's gonna blow some people's brains trying to figure the math out on that
Yeah,
one.
Lisa said, I thought Tim Hortons existed since the beginning, like since time began, like Duncan.
Nope. Nope.
Presumably, I assume there was a time before Tim Hortons, but I never really thought about it.
I remember when Tim Hortons started to become a thing.
Tim Hortons came into existence shortly after the dinosaurs, right? Like after the dinosaurs were done?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly how that
Yeah.
works. Yes, it goes dinosaurs, World War I, World War II, Tim Hortons. That is entirely
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong to say that somewhere between World War II and me being born is when Tim Hortons happened. That's not an incorrect statement.
Also not an accurate statement.
It's not. I said nothing about the accuracy, but it's not wrong. It's not completely inaccurate. It's just not. It's not the full picture, but it's not wrong.
It is not wrong. I know I'm dreading next week's live when I talk about the Vikings, because there's just so much misconception about the Vikings. I don't think we're making it to the Greenland settlement. There's just so much myth busting I'm going to have to do just to get us to wrap our brains around the idea of what a Viking is. It's going to be a problem.
I'm catching up
I do
on
not
chat
want to
because we
have
were
to
talking about all manner of things, and people are talking about ages and fish. Fish are a lot of work, apparently. I don't know. The last time I had fish, I
Fish are
was a
not a lot
child,
of
so I
work.
wasn't doing very much of the work.
Fish are not a lot of work. Are they work? Yes, all pets are work. But are they the most amount of work? No.
No, I imagine cleaning tanks aren't fun, but
No. But neither's cleaning a
they're
litter
not.
box or a
No,
backyard.
fish aren't interactive though. I want something I can snuggle.
Well, you
Can't
specifically
snuggle a
want
fish.
something with fur.
I know, and I can't have things with fur because Mr. Diane
No,
is allergic.
he is.
And maybe birds, but birds are a lot of work and they're noisy, and I don't know that I actually want a bird.
Please don't get a bird.
A long time ago, I babysat a kid that had birds, and pretty much decided just from those few hours didn't ever want a bird. Not small birds
My
anyway.
niece had,
I
my
still think
niece
like the
had
big
for
birds, the like the ones that are like have enough of a brain that they can learn to speak. Those ones are
Okay,
pretty cool.
so because I listened to the radio too much. And I had a gentleman on, like, As It Happens. I love As It Happens. Anyway, they were discussing the donations of parrots that they've been getting over in a city in the UK, in Britain, of swearing parrots. And he was talking about the active role a bunch of conservancies have been taking to educate people that they are not pets, they are wild creatures, they are not budgies. They're not meant to live in a cage or in a house. They're meant to live in colonies of like 50 or more.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing isn't appropriate. So it's like, well, I never knew that about parrots. So I need to go learn why it is not okay to own a parrot, which is a bird species that you can teach to talk.
I am aware of these things, and I'm not ever going to own one, but I still think it would be really cool. You know?
As someone who's had to clean bird cages, not so much. How do you count? Oh my god.
Who even knows? Okay, we're talking about fish.
I would rather clean an aquarium than clean a bird cage.
Centane? Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. We had an aquarium of fish from my mom's old office, and they all died horrible deaths. One fish slashed himself to death on a piece of coral? Poor fishy. Lisa says my little brother killed my first goldfish by taking it out all the time. He was like 1 or 2. Oh, poor fishy. Oh, and Centane was asking. Hang on, I'm gonna get real close. Centane, I think. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Was asking about chickpea cookies. What do they taste like?
50. Oddly, because I add vanilla protein powder to my chickpea cookies because more protein. Also, it's a way to sneak protein powder into me. And I'm not a huge smoothie person or milkshake person, so I put it in my baking. They taste like vanilla cookies. It's vanilla protein
Nice.
powder. And I do a glaze or I add chocolate chips drizzle, so they just taste like a cookie.
Seems
And
reasonable.
not a
Oh, I got
sweet
the name right.
cookie.
Excellent.
Not a sweet cookie. They just taste like cookie. Basically, it's just replacing the flour with chickpeas is what you're doing. The rest of the cookie is pretty much the same. I mean, I make the vegan ones, so no egg in mine.
Ooh, Karen was saying I want to try making meringue out of the chickpea liquid.
Yes, the aquafaba.
Interesting.
So do I, because I can't have eggs for the most part. I have to be very careful. So if I could replace egg whites with aquafaba, I'd be super happy. Not because I believe in caring for little chickens, but that because eggs upset my stomach.
Fair.
Having said that, I do buy locally raised grass-fed beef from my local butcher. So when I do buy meat, it's ethically sourced. I just don't do it very often.
Mm-hmm. Elisa was asking, do you know of the... I need to make this light text on a dark background thing's not working for me. Do you know of the Vinland Sage manga / anime?
Yes.
I do not. What is it?
Hang on, I'm counting.
27, 4, 18. Karen says, can't wait for the Viking Iceland thing. I know the horns on helmets are a myth.
Horns on helmets are a 21st century Hollywood thing.
Hollywood messed up so many things.
The Victorians did not help. Most of what we know is from sagas originally, which are not historically accurate either, though they have interesting glimpses. It's a hot garbagey mess. And the Victorians have not helped us with a lot of history.
No.
A lot. 19th century, well, 20th century, 21st century, we have mucked up history so bad. So bad. It's a problem. Okay, let's try this again.
Anyway, sorry, what was the anime?
There's an anime based around, it's called Saga, it's based around Viking myths and stuff. I've heard of it. I've never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Ah, okay. Back to birds, and you have to bequeath the bird to someone in your will because those things will outlive you and everyone you love. I heard about a parrot that learned how to order things on its owner's Alexa.
Yeah, they're not dumb. They're quite smart.
That's incredible. I love hearing about other people's parrot stories. I don't think I actually necessarily want one. I love hearing about the other people's experiences.
Let's try this again.
Mary was saying, years ago I accidentally killed finches by cooking in Teflon. No one informed me that would happen. Finches shouldn't eat Teflon? I mean, humans shouldn't eat Teflon.
No, we shouldn't. Lots of things we shouldn't eat. Alright. 100 stitches down. 6.
Debbie says, we always had big dogs with tons of fur to clean up around the house. I now have a miniature poodle that doesn't shed, and she is my cuddle bug. Aww. Poodles are so floofy. I didn't realize how big, like, a regular poodle is. Like, I thought they were a much smaller dog than they actually are. And then I saw a picture of one, like, actually next to a person. I'm like, oh, they're kind of big.
They are. My uncle has had giant schnauzers for several years. So just imagine the cute schnauzer, only big.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. With the full beard and the whole nine yards, like a schnauzer, only like supersized.
Elisa said, I enjoyed the manga, but it has some problems. Yeah. as with most historical reimaginings, I imagine. Few too many liberties. Debbie says poodles have different sizes. Mine is 12 pounds and little. Seems like a good size for a pet.
Well, I mean, secondary to it, like anytime you put the words manga or anime and then add the word historical reenactment, it's going to wild and weird and wonderful places, and none of it has anything to do with history.
Beep beep. I'm
Not
gonna
an
finish this
iota of it.
shell. Oh, that was like
That is strictly
a row and a
entertainment.
half. Or maybe just one row. I think that was actually just one row. I'm about the same place I was along my blanket. Because these rows belong. I got through a good chunk of my ball, though. I'm gonna have to wind another ball next time I pick this up.
That's good.
Making progress. Oh. This says gonna go put food in the bird feeder. I'm talking about birds. Go feed the birds. Ow. I'm so sore. I have too many dance classes. I'm so glad next week is my last K-pop class, and then I have a more reasonable amount of dance classes in a week. I did not... I thought I could do 4 nights of dance a week, and that was a mistake. I cannot do 4 nights of dance in a week.
That's too much dance. That's too much dance.
No. That K-pop class is not beginner friendly either. We're doing Standing Next to You, the dance break at the end. Go look it up.
Okay.
But I mean, it's K-pop with all the intricate little like hand and arm choreography.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's also, you're like, there's a bunch of leg choreography too, and it's just, it's a lot. So it took us 3 weeks to learn.
The last 44 stitches I need before I put this down.
We learned, it took us 3 weeks to learn 37 seconds. Is how intense this dance is. And I need to practice before we are apparently making a TikTok on Monday. I think I might decline to be in the TikTok. Not because I have any problem with looking stupid on the internet. I don't want to detract from the people who are actually good at it and taking it seriously. I don't want to mess up their TikTok.
All I can remember is the year you and I went to Icon and you wore your dragon onesie, toothless.
Yeah.
And you did K-pop for fun. And I just remember at the end of the class, you were just as tired as everybody else and lying on the floor.
That was a yoga
class.
That was which is the only reason K-pop. I tried to do it while wearing a onesie, because I thought it was going to be a lot less active than it was. That was some very active yoga. I thought it was going to be like, you know, slow, stretching, chilling. No, it was not. K-pop. It was not. There was running around and flapping.
Yes, it was.
I'm very flappable. Lisa says, crossing different cultures and I have issues with how the woman gets sidelined, but I still read, oh no, what are these words? Shonen and seinen? Did I say those right? I came up with a test for the women characters, Sam and Eowyn.
Yes, there's styles of manga specific to art styles or storytelling styles within the genre itself. So just like a fiction book isn't just a fiction book, it's historical fiction or contemporary fiction or science.
Okay.
Like it's
so it's like a genre kind of.
It's a genre specific sort of idea, yeah.
Gotcha. I'm obviously so deep into manga. an anime. Karen says, MCal time, still on clue 1. Reasonable, honestly. They're big clues.
Fine. It's really not the end of the world. Just remember to do your updates because I am turning it over to a paid pattern after the MCal is done.
Oh, Sam is in Sam Carter from SG1 as the high bar and Eowyn is the floor. Okay. On a scale of Sam to Eowyn. Got it.
I would not use Sam Carter as a high bar.
Who would you use as a high bar?
Delem of Babylon 5 would be my high bar for a female character.
Oh. Yeah, okay,
She
she's a
had
political badass.
She was a political badass. She ran a war, but she was still allowed to be female. Like they didn't take that from her. So
Okay.
yeah, no. Delem from Babylon 5 would be my high bar. Low bar. There's just too many low bars to pick from.
I don't pick one at random. It's pretty arbitrary.
The one that causes the most nerd rage in me right now, still. Bridgerton television series, season 1. Daphne. I could just, nothing wrong with the actor. I could murder how they butchered her character from book to movie. Just makes me so mad. Makes me so mad.
They missed the point with that one.
In freak entirely. All right, we have 194 stitches. I am cast back on.
Nice. Shonen is seen as boys and seinen is men. I'm more meant. We can start saying good rep. Didn't see Babylon 5. You should watch Babylon 5. It's really good. Apparently yesterday, I think, was the 30-year anniversary of the airing of the first episode of Babylon 5.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
but let's be
Babylon
honest.
5. Recommend.
My favorite gay couple that was never a couple is still Garrick and Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine.
Ah! They were the best uncouple.
They were the best uncouple. So good. I'm also currently rewatching DS9, so I get to watch their non-romance all over again, and ship it as much as I want. Because they did that little achievements thing during the pandemic, which was like Dr. Bashir chatting with Garrick at his human avatar filter. So obviously the actor's not Cardassian.
Right.
And they were chatting 20 years later.
Aww.
As a married couple, so it was just, yes. The things they could have done if they didn't have Dum Dum running the television series at the time.
If it wasn't the 90s. With all those fun...
No, if it wasn't not Gene Roddenberry, Ray Bradbury. He's the one who nixed all of the gay content. Because Gene Roddenberry had been pushing for it since the 60s original version. Bradbury nixed all of it.
Because we're in space, and what even is gender with alien species?
Well, Star Trek was the first series which Roddenberry had more control over. Was all about breaking.
Oh, Karen says it was Rick Berman.
Berman? One of the two. Don't know which one. But it wasn't Roddenberry. Because they have him recorded at conventions, and the actors that worked with him saying, no, he wants that in there. And the scripts kept getting nixed.
Apparently he wasn't too great with female characters either. That's just executives ruining things.
Pretty much consistently. So.
The Paladin in the D&D movie is the love interest in season 1 of Bridgerton. and he started making me want to be a paladin. That's why you look familiar. I rewatched the D&D movie the other day. I'm like, I remember the first time I watched this, and I'm like, you look familiar, but I can't place you, because I'd already watched some of Bridgerton. That's what he was familiar from. Thank you.
Who's familiar for what?
The love interest in Bridgerton season 1, and the paladin in the D&D movie.
Oh, are they the same dude?
Apparently.
I mean, I found the paladin in the D&D movie delightfully atypical lawful paladin, and it was wonderful.
I absolutely
to watch.
love that character.
Wonderful to watch. I especially like the scene where he goes over the rock,
character.
not around the rock. I would totally be friends.
He would exasperate me to no end, and I would want to strangle him sometimes, but also we'd be like best buds.
Just to mess with his head. That's what I would do. Just to mess with him. What am I gonna? What am I? Okay, so I worked on socks. I worked on my endless adventure. I worked on my librarian. We have 2 more sprints. Yeah, we usually average high sprints.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think we do about 5. What time are we at?
I should finish a gauge swatch.
3 o'clock. Yeah, so yeah. 2 more sprints?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some gauge swatch work. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm going back to
I'm making a Diana gauge swatch. We're pretending it's a gauge swatch, but it's not really a gauge swatch.
Hey, my gauge swatches serve me just fine, as long as I actually make them. It's when I forget to make them, or think I know better, that they don't serve me. Okay.
Well, you can, wait, if I do this. This is that, where are my eyeballs? This is the slutty pumpkin colorway.
That's pretty. I love that on it up.
Because I wanted to cast on the shrug again. Let's scroll down so I can see Diana now. The awkwardness of being on my phone. But before I cast on the shrug again, I need a mini gauge swatch to check my gauge.
All right.
And it's not quite big enough for me to be able to wash and block. But I don't want to waste an ounce of this yarn on a gauge swatch. So I'm not washing, I'm not blocking, I'm just knitting it, and then I'm measuring it, and we're going with it because it's a cardigan. It doesn't have to close. More bolero than cardigan, really. And let's be honest, I might mess with the pattern because I know the ribbing is 2x2 ribbing. I think I might make it 1x1 ribbing so that it drapes and folds better. It doesn't cinch in as much.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to start our 4th sprint.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, sprint.
Go. But step 1. Make just enough of a swatch I can actually measure it. Which we're not at yet. Then finally cast on this thing I wanted to cast on to flip in the 1st of January, and I got distracted. Oh, for tomorrow, would you like to get up early, or would you like to record on Monday?
Let me check a calendar real quick and see if either of those options is already decided for me.
That is a good question.
Get up early or record on Monday.
Yes.
Either of those options works.
Okay. What are you vibing? What's the mood?
Well, do you want more time to edit?
Let's be honest. I always want more time to edit, though I understand sometimes your brain does not work when you first get up. And while delightful to watch and interact with, makes my job harder.
Fair. How early is early? Because it's probably not that much early.
This week I made my own job harder because I had a migraine, so we had so many cuts because I was just in pain. The boys are coming over, specifically 2 of the boys are coming over at noon tomorrow because we're flipping away from the Lord of the Rings Warhammer, and we're going to go to Kill Team. the kill team isn't set up to be a league format. So while we have to take a hiatus for the month of February because one of our members is busy February, it's just a big showtime for him. He just doesn't, between his brother visiting, his brother-in-law visiting, and 2 shows for his business, just no February for him to play in. So we're taking the month to build league rules.
Okay.
So every spare Sunday outside the live, we have to record either before noon or after like 5 or 6. Because
Okay.
all Sunday afternoon, I'm helping build league rules for a miniatures game. Which is a
Mr.
lot of
Diana has
playtesting,
his
a lot of discussing.
synthesizer performance tomorrow night, so I can't do tomorrow evening.
No. But if we're recording by 10:30 my time, that's fine, because it usually takes us about an hour and a half. Otherwise, we just do it Monday. And I'm fine to do it Monday. That's not a problem for me.
No? Would you rather do it Monday?
Sure. I mean, we're less stressed for time.
Sure. Okay. I will put this on Monday at the usual time. That should be just fine.
Have 2 new cast-ons this week.
Accidentally 2 new cast-ons?
Well, if we do it Monday, then I've got time to cast on the shrug again before we record.
True. I have time to make stuff happen if we do it Monday.
Yeah. So that works. Monday's fine for me.
Okay. Monday it is.
And if Monday's good, because I will be ordering my groceries for the month. So that sucks up a chunk of my screen time. And I'm releasing the next clue, which is the recipes, the break week, on Monday too. So that'll suck up most of the rest of my screen time for the day. So that works. That works. Ooh, and if we wait till Monday, I might have the sock cuff done, and then we can roll on the bingo thing for me. Because I'll have my first bingo done. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We've got options if we do it on Monday.
Okay.
Tristan, yarn from Dragon Horde Yarns feels so different from Erin's. It's so pretty, but the base feels different. I don't dislike it, guys. I don't have a problem with it. It's just different, and my brain's very confused.
Elisa was asking, what's league rules versus not?
So the idea with the league is that because we are a closed group of gamers, we'll be playing through a sort of light storyline concept, so that we're not just having the same basic game ad nauseum. We're adding special rules or different different goals for each of the games, so that way it isn't just see how many people you can kill. Right. Sometimes it'll be like, okay, your goal is to kill the leader, or your goal is to get the objective, but the other side wants the objective for a different reason, and it's just creating those sort of, like, one of them we know for sure we're going to do is a settlers versus or survivalists or something. Anyway, one group is trying to hold on to the land, and the other group is trying to move in on the land.
Right.
So you're fighting over a piece of territory. It's wargaming is what it is. We're just making up the scenarios for it based on the science fiction themed universe of 40K, since we're playing Kill Team, which is a 40K Warhammer game system.
Makes sense.
I particularly like the one where the specialist is trying to get the objective because it's a piece of equipment that they need to kajigger, but I forget what we call the other side, is trying to keep it away from them because they're the spy, so they don't want that side to win, so they're trying to keep the thing away from him so he can't kajigger it.
Right.
Basically, it's going to be 2 small war bands fighting over one piece of objective terrain. I think it'll be fun.
It sounds
fun. The idea is to start intro and then build up towards a big for fun free-for-all game at the end, and have it run for 2 or 3 months, given how we play, and then we can either reset or we can go to Warhammer Fantasy or back to the Lord of the Rings or do something else. Like we could play another small system game, just so that we're not constantly playing the same teams, the same scenarios, because after a while it starts to drag.
Yeah. So only
You've
so
got
many
some
times you can
perennial
beat on the same
favorites.
dudes.
Yeah. You have some perennial favorites. Like there was one scenario in The Lord of the Rings that everybody loves to play, and that was you versus the wargs, puppies, basically, like the warg riders. So it was your tiny battle company and your opponent's tiny battle company and 40 wargs.
That's a lot.
And you could shoot each other. You could shoot each other if you wanted, but you only got points for the number of dead wargs you had at the end of the scenario. So I'm trying to figure out how to do something similar to that, only it's you and your opponent versus a horde of like a swarm of orcs or a swarm of mids, because those are both the swarm armies.
Mm-hmm.
So, you show up on the planet to do your thing and all of a sudden you have 90 boys and you're a team of 5 people to deal with. That's the sort of thing we're trying to build up and try to gear towards within the rule set as Kill Team specifies. So
Jessica
but we
says, "Wish I
need
had time to get into wargaming."
it is a bit of an upfront time investment. Most of it is just it's like D&D or anything else. Like find a good group of like 4 or 5 guys. They'll probably be boys, not likely to be women, especially in wargaming. We're very thin on the ground. If you think we're thin on the ground for Magic and Dungeons and Dragons, you have no idea how thin we are on the ground for Warhammer. Very thin on the ground. Most, and by most I mean like a good 90% of women who play Warhammer only play because their partner plays. There is an incredibly small number of us who play free of the fact boys play around us. Like I joined simply because I liked the game.
I'm in the category of I only play, but I don't even
You
play
play
really.
because your husband plays. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much in the in the category of my partner plays, so I guess I'm here.
Yeah.
Sounded like
There's
fun.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We need all the women we can get, and we'll take it from anywhere.
It's just like
Anywhere.
mildly uncomfortable when you walk into the store and like everybody stares at you.
That's because you're so rare on the ground they don't know what to do with you, and you're not there enough to be your own person.
I know, it was
Because
weird and
they
uncomfortable.
they don't stare at me anymore. They haven't stared at me in over a decade. Because I'm just
To do an
Jocelyn.
entire computer science degree like that, it's just weird and uncomfortable.
Oh no. I never found that lasts for me much more than like maybe 2 or 3 months. And then it's done and over with. Hey, this swatch is big enough to measure. Excellent.
Well, in school, every 2 or 3 months, there'd be a new crop of students, then I'd have to like reprove myself. So I did it a lot.
Oh no. No. Nope. I don't have to prove that I can play. I also don't bother to talk to the ones who think I need to prove I know how to play. I'm a veteran player. They can go away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I did my swatch. Or as much of a swatch
Jessica
as I'm going
says,
to do. But I can't.
Sorry, you were saying about a swatch.
I can't measure my swatch till later because I need my.
Ah.
I need my phone to take the photo, to blow the photo up real big, to read the stitch count. It's fine.
Jessica says, my local game store is big on wargaming, and indeed, there are very few women amongst the regulars.
I mean, if you go in and talk to the store manager, whoever it is, third key assistant, whoever it is that deals with the groups the most, they will have a very good idea of which boys to approach and which ones to not approach. Because just like everything else on the planet, there are going to be people you're not going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
There just are. People are not necessarily going to coalesce even if you like the same things, which is super fine. And if you can find 2 or 3 or 4 who either forget that you're a girl, which is the ideal, and absolutely can happen so long as you don't make a deal out of it, you will find ones who also won't make a deal out of it, or who aren't uncomfortable with women. And a lot of them are just that they don't know what to do with girls. They really don't. They're uncomfortable because they don't know what to do. I have a friend. I have been friends with him since I started playing Warhammer. The man is still the most awkward person I have ever met in my life. Like, to show comfort, he pats me on the back like this. Just
I mean, I'm not far
always
removed
been that
from
awkward.
that, so.
Yeah, he's always been that awkward. So like, I don't see it as an issue because that's just how he functions. That's just how he functions. 2 of the 6 players in the group we play with are ex-boyfriends. One is from another country. Like, it just, but none of them look at me and see a girl. Like, they just see Jocelyn. They're aware I'm female, mostly because I complain sometimes when I have to lean over terrain and I get poked in the chest. And then I go, okay, you have poked my boob enough. You can come off the terrain today. There are some practicalities that they don't think about because it's not an issue for them. They usually go, oh, we didn't stop to think about that. I'm like, that's fair. Neither did I, right? Like, I didn't stand here at the train and go, which one of you is going to attack my chest today? It's just like, I don't think about that. Not until I'm leaning over and I get poked or I knock something over and I go, really? Why? I also give a lot of leeway. Like, if they're under 20, they're being driven so hard by their hormones. So hard by their hormones. I generally don't give them any flack if they struggle to find my face or if they, because that's literally all that is on their brain the whole time. And when they realize that that's what they're doing, they are way more embarrassed than you are uncomfortable about it. And how do you know? Because if you catch them, their face is as red as a tomato. They're appalled at their own behavior, but it's not like they have any control over it. And if you're a woman who's gone through your 30s, all the way to the other side,
I'm kind of sort of starting to get it.
you understand now? Like, I didn't quite understand when I first started playing, but now that I'm at the other side of my peak hormones, I'm like, dude, I am so sorry for any grief or gruff I would have given you because, oh my god, at least I had past 25, so I have some impulse control.
Yeah.
You just got the short end of both sticks. Like, oh, that's hard. Like, that's hard. And girls are weird. We're so weird. And we're scary. But no, I have a group. And if you don't fit into those parameters or you can't interact with me as a human being and you're over the age of 30, I absolutely just executive file under G and I don't play games with you. The community is
Entirely
large enough.
reasonable.
I don't need to. I don't need to pay attention to you. I don't need to acknowledge your existence. It's not necessary for me. You do not bring anything to my gaming system, so you don't exist as far as I'm concerned. Which just allows me to just ignore dum-dums, which they don't like. I don't even give them the time of day. No, I talk to the people who will treat me like a person. Everybody else just can scuttle around on the floor where they belong. I don't need to deal with you. There's not many. There's always the one or two, but there's not many.
I don't know, but it only takes one to really wreck your day.
Only if you let them, and I don't let them.
It's hard.
Again, I am sexually harassed more often by females than I ever have been by men.
Interesting.
Ever by men. I generally do not find them to be a problem. Do they sometimes do things that they're not aware of? Oh, absolutely. When you point it out, again, they're embarrassed AF, and they will correct the behavior. They will. They just don't know that they're doing it. So you teach them.
That's fair. If that's their attitude about it, that's fine. It's the ones that are unapologetic about it that are not worth your time.
Unapologetic, back in their face, and they're not worth your time. You move on. And again, generally don't have a problem with most men. I have a lot more trouble with women than I do with men. A lot more trouble with women than I do men. Still don't know. I know what I can do for the rest of this night.
Lisa was saying, I like learning about it, wargaming, but don't want to play. But mini painting looks cool. I know guys who do it. one of the guys I play D&D with runs the Warhammer part of the tabletop club.
Yeah.
I like the mini painting more than the playing, I think. I like...
The hobby is its own thing. Like, you could just be a miniatures painter. It's its own whole hobby.
I like painting. I don't like assembling, and playing is...
a part of the painting.
fine. Like, it's too crunchy. There was a time where I would have absolutely loved
Crunchy.
it, but it's too crunchy.
I'm gonna need more of a descriptor. Crunchy's not gonna work for me.
So like, you
How
move,
is something too
and then
crunchy?
well, because it's supposed to be like a fast-paced battle thing. So like, you move, and then you fire your gun, and you have to roll to see if you hit, and then they have to roll to save, and then there's like 6 rolls to see if you do any damage, and frequently I end up doing no damage somehow. And
Who told you it was fast paced?
because nobody, but in my head it's like,
Okay.
it's a battle game, it should be, you know, there's shooting and
Absolutely
stuff
not.
going on, but no, we're like playing in super slow motion. So I roll to see if I hit, and then you roll for armor saves, and then I roll for wounds, and then there's like another roll.
I will also invite you to stop playing with your husband, because he has to play the super spec'd up humans that nobody likes to play, because it's the army jerks pick.
I think maybe that's the thing. Maybe I need to try playing with somebody else.
May I suggest playing with, I'm going to say it, one of your best friends? That would be me.
I was gonna say, I should bring my nids next time. I'll play against your orcs.
Yeah, or your brother-in-law, who don't pick the I need to be a jerk and win all the time because I have all the super cool things human army. We play interesting armies.
Armies I've got half a chance against.
Yes, well,
Armies
you've
where no
noticed,
matter what strategy I choose, it's the wrong strategy.
Every time your husband has brought his army to play, I am not available. There's plenty of reasons for it. And the primary one is I refuse to play against people who have to play stacked in their favor power gaming.
Yeah, I don't like his army either.
Orcs.
Oh, hello, Phaedra.
Ma'am. I'm gonna go with that's the armies you're playing against. I mean, I've got one ex-boyfriend all the time. He's like, let's have a game. And I'm always like, sure, but you can't play the douche army. He's like, but! I'm like, no buts. You play it, we're never playing again. Grumble, 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 grumble.
I'm gonna be like upset when you want to give up halfway through because there's no way you can make a comeback.
None whatsoever, but if they're
and you
losing,
just want an hour of your life back.
World. I know. No, it's the reason why I don't play against your husband. It's the reason why his brother doesn't play against him very often. No.
Pay attention to me, Mom.
Mother's busy.
Wait, have I done my... Oh, I just did my 2 rounds. Haha! Okay, I did 2 rounds.
I could spend the rest of this session pulling out just my minis and making sure I just have minis. And if I've got any variegated minis, put them aside for...
Okay, I need to consult my pattern.
No!
Okay, come here. Tell me what I'm doing. Knit 2 rounds. Okay, and now the round 1. Increase 1 stitch at the end of the round. Okay, knit around again, but make 1 extra stitch at the end.
Because I'm thinking I want to make a change to the plan, which was really a very loose plan anyway, for the mini blanket I'm working on.
Ooh.
And I think I want to make it so that I have finished the advent, the monsters just out of my field of vision. And I think I want to connect it with like a slip stitch or a single crochet stitch in a neutral color to connect the squares. And I want to build out the corner of the blanket with one advent. And then I want to fill the middle with minis, variegated minis. And then I want to use this year's advent to make the last corner. So the theory being at the end of this year, like the 25th of December, I am connecting the last minis worth of squares. And then I can spend the 25th through 31st crocheting the border in that same neutral color.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Mostly because I really, really, really want to eat up these minis and these scraps and get rid of them this year. And I mean, I know I'm getting Erin's advent this year. I don't even have to ask. Have you seen, did you open January's yarn?
Yes. I got it on the new sock base too.
Mine's on Tweety Sock.
Oh. I had a very in-depth discussion. B was over at the time, and I'm like, "What yarn base do I want?" So we talked very in depth about which yarn base I wanted to get this year's yarn club on. Settled on the new sock base, and it's so pretty.
Erin sent me a message. She's like, "What base do you want?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, not the new sock base. Diana's getting that one." I'm like, "Okay, cool. What other bases do I have?" And she lists all the other bases. I'm like, "You know what? Tweedy sock. I like tweed. Let's do tweed." Because I mean, my librarian is in the non-superwash DK.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I already have a bunch, and I'll absolutely be trying all the other bases this year. So, but a Tweety sock, that'll be good. Those two are also.
We have
Anyway,
30
that's my
seconds left in the
current new
sprint.
plan for this blanket, which I mean could potentially change again because it's a scrappy blanket and it's whatever I decide to make out of it. But for the moment, that's what we're doing. That was such a huge jump, buddy. Why don't you use the chair? Set up a chair so you could do it in stages. Why do you insist on doing it all at once?
Beep beep. All right. That was fourth sprint. I am a row and a half away from being where I was before on this sweater. But correctly this time.
Okay.
All right. That means for the last sprint. Oh, crunch, crunch.
Ooh, what do I want to work on for the last sprint?
I will be attempting to get my ribbing done on the librarian.
Good.
This is going to be so cute. I'm very excited about it.
I don't know what I should. Oh boy. It's a really big question. Like, what do I pick for the last sprint?
I don't know. What are the choices?
Plenty of choices. That's not what we're lacking for here.
Well, give us like 2 or 3 choices to vote on.
Think of crochet. What did I crochet today? Ooh, I could work on my red cardigan design.
Yeah.
That'd be a good choice. Probably my best choice. Why do I have mohair, Diana?
I don't know.
I feel like it was an advent exchange between you and me. Hang on. I have to push all these minis back in the bag.
Lisa's asking, any tips for
Yeah.
picking minis if I want to get into painting them? I may see if my DM needs more minis to use. I don't know, I just
Probably
painted.
Reaper minis. Minis are starting to become a thing where everyone's custom ordering their minis, so you're not going to find as many on the shelves as you used to. We've all gotten to this we need a special snowflake sort of situation, but Reaper minis are usually the best bet for D&D miniatures. Usually the best bet. They have like the widest variety. They're usually priced fine, like they're not expensive miniatures at all. Noting that I
Yeah.
play Warhammer, so I'm used to paying. Like I was looking at a model for my birthday. That's gonna cost me like $65.
Yeah.
For one thing. So I think
Got
paying
my
$9 for a model is cheap.
I got my boxes of bugs, and they were gifted to me, so I don't want to know how much they cost.
No,
I think
you
I bought
don't.
my first box by myself, but the big box of big bugs, I don't want to know.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Trust me. Oh, I know what I can do for the last sprint. I could do prep work for Friday and rip the tar sweater.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
Because
can
the
do,
2-week sweater
guys.
challenge is starting, what day?
Friday.
Starting Friday. Okay.
Friday. The 2nd of February. Because Friday is the 2nd of February.
You're going to try and redo the entire sweater in 2 weeks.
Why not? I pretty much knit this in 2 weeks while doing
Yeah.
an MCAL design.
Fair enough.
In theory, I should be able to handle this. All right, let's start. But to
I
be
will start
fair,
a timer. 3, 2,
we
1,
gotta
sprint.
start all the way back at the beginning. Oh yeah, go. Go, 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 go. I love this yarn. It's so pretty.
Which yarn is that?
This is the Barocco DK.
Ah.
I bought in gray and this purple. So pretty. Feels really nice too. It's Barocco vintage, so it's like half wool, half acrylic. So it's got a nice smooth texture to it. Do you also get like that springy from wool?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope when you randomly roll for the bingo card on Monday that I get a sweater. Next month is all sweaters. That'd be really good. Here's hoping.
Yawn.
Okay. Ah.
I think I was supposed to do acrylic for my bingo square, and I have absolutely not done that.
I've noticed.
Well, there's this sweater that I want to finish before it's been an entire year. And then there's this other sweater that's kind of long that, you know, I should probably work on. And
Do you even have anything casted on in acrylic?
I have 2 options. There's the mittens for my dad that I need to remake because I messed them up.
Okay.
Or there's the Cozy Dreams shawl.
Okay.
Which I also messed out and ripped out. But I'm leaning towards the mittens because the Cozy Dreams shawl, I would like to do one of those challenge videos, like how much crochet or like how can I make an entire shawl in X number of hours or something.
Oh, interesting idea.
Because it seems like a good candidate for that.
Why is the bind off row always the hardest row to rip?
Oh, Susanna's off to some kind of knit class. No, wait, a Zoom class on Knit Companion knit.
Oh, that'd be
That's
handy.
cool. Ta-ta for now. Enjoy. This
Bye.
sounds interesting. Knit Companion's cool, but the Android version only has like 2/3 of the features of the iOS version. And this irritates me.
I don't like that. There we go.
I do love Knit Companion though. I love it and I use it. It just annoys me that the Android version is not the same as the iOS version.
You know what? I'm going to say the Cozy Dream Shawl.
Yeah?
Yeah. Explain to me this crochet so much in so many hours challenge.
So it's an arbitrary number of hours, but a lot of people will do like, how much can I crochet in like, I don't know, 24 hours or something? And it's like, you actually stay up and crochet for 24 hours. Or you don't, you be like a reasonable human and do just like some really long sessions over the course of a couple of days. But it doesn't have to be 24 hours, it could be like 6 hours, 10 hours, basically whatever number of hours you want to give it.
I think that would be a delightful bonus content video for you and me to do.
I think it'd be very fun. I'm very interested in doing it. I just haven't had time to do it.
I mean, after the MCAL officially wraps down,
I think so, yeah.
you and I take a day. I mean, obviously we would film our check-ins separately, but we could film the intro and outro, like our plans, and then how well we did, the recap. We could do that together.
Yeah.
And then technically we'd also be racing each other. Or we
I
could
did this thing
arbitrarily
in
decide
X
on a
number of hours.
We'll decide on an X number of hours and see how much we get done on something.
I like it. Are we knitting the same thing? Or knitting, crocheting, whatever, making? Are we making the same thing?
Nah. I don't think we need to crochet the same thing, but I think we both need to be from a cast on point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
But I think that'll be fun. I mean, that's not saying you shouldn't pick up your dad's mittens as soon as possible and work on them, because you should just
I know, right? Winter's running thin.
Then
we have
we're
visible
into the
grass
positives
today.
Yeah, this is the coldest we're going to be all week today, and the high was like -3 or something.
It rained the other night.
Even if we get a splash of winter again before the end of April, this has been just the crappiest winter. Crappiest winter, guys.
It's gonna be a heckin' dry summer.
So well. It's gonna be a long, dry drought of a summer again.
Jessica's saying that she'd enjoy our crochet challenge video, or knit challenge, or whatever it is we're doing.
I think
the craft X amount of hours video.
Well, we could, because we could do it over a weekend, right? Like, we could film our intro, decide on the number of hours. We could do like 24 hours, but give ourselves the whole weekend to do it, like reasonable adults.
Yeah, like 3 days.
Eat, sleep, do other things. So we could do that and just come back and see how well we did. I mean, there's nothing to say we couldn't pick the same pattern, because you and I both have crochet patterns we both like to do. We both like, every time I get to a certain part in a ball wind, I drop the ball.
Oh no.
Every time. Doesn't matter what weight of yarn either. Ooh, though we could, if I try to buy, let's do that for March, I think. Because I could buy that, because you want to do the Cozy Dream Shawl. I'm not making another one. I've already made 2 of them.
No, that's
my
fine.
pattern. But there is that Bridgerton cabled capelet, crochet cabled capelet.
Yeah.
That's also worsted. So you could do the Cozy Dream shawl, and I could try to see how much of the capelet I could get done in a weekend. It's like, we've got options.
I like it. It has to be a weekend where we're not otherwise doing stuff.
For podcasting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, beyond our regular recording, I guess.
Yeah. Which, if I'm honest, I'll probably bump the recording that week to the Monday anyway, just so that we can do the outro recap and record in the same chunk of time. So we're not trying to schedule separate times to do all of it.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. But I think that could be a fun challenge for March.
I think so. Yeah. We'll have some new bonus content this week.
Ooh. Means we have to record the one for...
Yeah, because our last one, I'm just about done editing. I want to do one more, like, polishing pass tonight before I go out.
Fair.
But that'll be out probably Monday.
What bonus content do people want to see?
Yeah, that's a good question. Since we've got everybody, what kind of videos do you guys want to see?
We're game to do them. I enjoy the bonus content videos. They're fun. Or the rug pattern, because I also have that rug pattern now too.
Oh yeah.
I could do either. They're both crochet.
How many little amigurumi triceratops can I make in so much time?
No.
Other ones. Well, we want to do the mystery patterns.
You want to do the mystery patterns. I like.
I want to do a mystery vintage pattern, like just vintage crochet.
Yes.
Where she has just the pattern, but all of the pictures and words that identify what it is have been removed.
Uh-huh. I
think it would be fun.
I need to start hunting down patterns for things for my niece's hope chest, because my mom would like to make one. We've got the obvious, but now I need to start looking at the unobvious. What is with me and my big ball? Same thing happens when I'm doing the minis, which is just quite aggravating.
Oh no, I messed up the stitch on the last round. I have to drop it down. Fix it.
Nope,
come here, you. Come here, you stitch. Let me fix you. There we go.
I think that would be super cool.
There's also the there's like a sort of a design challenge I've seen a couple crochet channels do. So 1 hour, what can you design and make in 1 hour versus 10 hours versus 100 hours? It's just like an art thing in general, like the 1 hour painting, the 10-hour painting, and the like 100-hour painting, but applied to whatever your craft is.
Sure. First ball done.
I'm just not sure about the 100-hour part. That is a commitment. I don't know if I want to do the same thing for 100 hours. Because despite how long it takes me to finish things, it's just because I don't work on them. It's not because it takes me 100 hours.
It's very easy once you lose steam to put a project down. Oh, this was a good idea. Very cathartic to rip this thing. Whew.
I don't know what food Mr. Diana has made, but it smells really good, and I'm hungry, and I'm gonna go find it and eat it after.
I thought you ate before we started this.
I did, but it's been 4 hours now, almost. So I'm hungry again. What am I gonna have for lunch? Snack, dinner, whatever.
Snack, dinner, whatever?
Snack, dinner, whatever. Snack, lunch, thing, late afternoon tea. Oh, Jessica says, gotta run. Always happy to catch these streams. See you later.
Bye! Everybody gets to watch me super interestingly rip a sweater.
I'm super interestingly knitting 2x2 ribbing, so...
It needs to be done. Then I'm ready for Friday and cast on day.
I like how the average view duration on these videos ends up being the length of a sprint plus 5 or 10 minutes, basically however long our breaks average being. The average person watches this for a sprint and a break.
Yep.
Oh, Jude's suggesting 1 hour, crochet square, 10 hours a middling project, and 100 a full-on blanket.
Well, like, see how big of a crochet square we can make in an hour?
That could be interesting. 1 hour is like a small, 1 hour is like a pillow, and 10 hours is like, I don't know, some kind of small like lap blanket or something.
Well, I was thinking 10 hours for me might be a cat bed. Because I've got an old comforter that's not good for beds anymore, like for human beds. But if I fold it up to fit under the coffee table, under my computer desk, what table am I at right now? If I fold it down, it'll be a nice plump cat bed thing. But like a 10-hour project would be crocheting the top, the bottom, and the sides and seaming that all together. So like that would be a reasonable 10-hour goal for me. It's the 100-hour project, because like that's a lot harder. Like, is that a sweater? Like probably.
Oh, definitely.
But well, I mean maybe not, because I did the Tribeca trench in 12 days, and I most certainly did not dedicate 8 hours ever to that. I may have dedicated 3 or 4 hours a day, maybe, to getting that.
It's done. Really hard to plan like a 100-hour project. Like I genuinely don't know
like,
how long my projects take. Like if it takes more than an hour, like I haven't been timing it.
I think maybe timing out how long it takes me to crochet a worsted weight granny square, that would give me a really good idea. Like a 6-round granny square.
Yeah.
That would give me a good idea of what I could do in an hour. And from there I can scale it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd have to start, because the granny square for me is the thing I do on autopilot the best. So there's that. Like, should we be buying different types of budget yarns and trying things? Like, should we be buying the Red Heart granny all in one and seeing if we can get our granny squares to line up with when they make the color changes?
Should we review yarns and stuff? Yarns and tools?
Should we be trying tutorials that other people do and seeing if we could do it strictly from the tutorial, or the mystery crochet alongs and stuff? Like, could
or those
Diana
crafting
and
hacks videos?
Yeah, get the brothers to pick an assortment of doctored patterns we've given them for us to try. Like there's definitely space to fiddle around and play in, especially with bonus content and stuff that I'd love to start doing. I'm not sure what everyone else might be interested in. If that makes sense.
Elisa says budget yarns or good yarns for cool weather.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm a cold person, so I definitely still make things out of like a fingering weight to be worn in the summer, fingering weight wool.
Their fingering weight wool breathes just fine. You can wear fingering weight wool in the summer, no problem. It's no
I just
more
don't wear a
or
whole
less hot
sweater.
than
It's like
cotton.
a crop top.
Yeah, yeah. Do we want myth busting ones? Like, do we want me to start pulling up the reports and fiber contents and doing deeper dives into how things are constructed and how we wear them and what's going on? Like, do we want a deep dive into care instructions and why some blends are good and some blends are bad? Do we need a tutorial on how insulation works? Because that's essentially what our clothing is.
Tracy says that all
I
sounds
don't.
good. Elise says myth busting. I love Mythbusters rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, if I had a yard to blow things up in, I absolutely would.
Jude would like a rundown of your handmade skirts.
Sure. I could do some sewing walkthroughs to help people with that and stuff. My hand sewing is now upgraded from an 8-year-old to a 12-year-old. Nobody's going to see
Progress.
these seams, guys. Nobody's going to see these seams. They're half circle skirts. There is no pattern for my half circle skirts. It's all done by measurement, and the length of the skirt is determined by the width of the fabric. Like, I could do something like that for you guys. It's not. There's lots of tutorials on YouTube, but I could certainly pull one up for everybody.
This is going to say bye. Have a
Stop
good
it.
weekend. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Okay. So we've got some challenge videos and stuff. I like the idea of the budget yarns.
What counts as a budget yarn?
Commercial, Michaels or Walmart. Because like those are for us. Those are the biggest box stores. Like I don't have a Joann's, so I can't put Joann's on the list.
No, there's no Joann's, Hobby Lobby, stuff like that. That's
Yeah,
not up here.
That's not up here. But we've got Michaels and we've got Walmart. Those would be primary places to start. Because like if we start talking local yarn stores, well then that's an independent. I think stick commercial big box stores.
Yeah.
For budget stuff, so it's easier for people to find. Amazon. I would probably, possibly. I don't know if I'd put nitpicks in there. I don't think I'd put nitpicks in there. I mean, potentially, but they're American, so like you have the conversion thing to worry about.
Yeah. Dollar stores sometimes have yarn.
Dollar stores sometimes have yarn. Yeah. I mean, we could. I think, yeah, Walmart and Michaels to start, I think is a good place to start.
Yeah.
For sure, trying brands we've never tried before or don't have a lot of experience in. Not big projects. We stick to the 4-weight yarn for crochet and knitting. That's not too bad. Let's be
Briggs
honest,
and
I have
Little
that
in big
Gramps.
box stores for you. I have not seen Briggs and Little in a store.
Briggs and Little only happens in local yarn stores for me. It's not in big box stores here. Though it would be a budget yarn, but it's not. It's more of an East Coast, but it's not like super wildly available. Does that make sense?
They're a somewhat smaller operation.
Whereas, like, I know you've got, well, Louise talks about this big box warehouse yarn place that she goes to.
Which one's that?
Big tent sale? I have no idea. There's so much stuff in Southern Ontario. I don't know everywhere Louise goes anymore. There's that. But I'm wondering. I think it's like far as like widest availability in Canada. I think we got to go Michaels and Walmart to start.
Yep.
Because then we're talking ordering from other places and stuff, and that's fine. But I think we should grow into that. Because like there's their Craft Smart line and stuff. So like there's a bunch of things we can try.
Got so many ideas now.
which is good. I'm so glad both of us are writing these down. Asa, can you write these down? I am not going to remember these. I'm not going to remember these. I mean, like, it was that great idea. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I'm going to stick this down the front of my shirt. I now
Does
have
online ordering count as budget for this?
I think it would depend on shipping and what yarn and where you're getting it from. Does that make sense?
Because shipping in, no matter how inexpensive the yarn is, shipping American yarn up to Canada makes it not very budget friendly.
Not budget. Yeah. It is
So,
definitely not budget friendly.
but I mean, if you're already in the States and you're ordering from somewhere else in the States, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Especially if they offer free shipping.
Yes.
But alas, probably not for Canadians. Jude says, I still have 5 meters of fabric to turn into a split seam circle skirt, lacking floor place to cut it at the moment.
Oh, yeah. That's always a trick, too, hey? I'm super excited. My dad built me a cutting table.
Ooh.
He built me a cutting table where the flaps, like, fold down. So it's as wide as a sewing machine. And, like, double sewing machine length. But I'm on rollers, like on rubber rollers. It's literally right there off camera, and I can roll it out and put the arms up. I can't walk around it, because when the arms are up, she goes from here to the wall. She consumes the whole space, which is super fine. Or like here, right to the, like right up to the, like the whole space gets consumed. But oh, it's made cutting fabric a whole bunch easier.
Yeah, I bet.
It did a great job. Like when you fold it up, it's super smooth. There's no catches for fabric or anything. And it's all simple wood dowel latch construction. So like there's no, and hinges. So like there's no complicated mechanics to break down or anything. So just.
Oh, beep beep. I guess that's the last sprint.
Nice. So nice. Look, I almost finished ripping the whole sweater. I'm down to the last ball.
How much? How much more of this do I got?
Now that it's been on the floor, this is going to be so covered in cat hair and human hair. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like 6 3/4 centimeters.
That's not too bad.
Getting there.
It means you're gaining a centimeter, what, every roundish?
Well, every 25 minutes-ish.
Yeah. So every 2 rounds. You have 100+ stitches on that.
I do. It's looking so good, though.
You're not making more than 2 rounds in a 25-minute space. It does look so good. Oh, God. I like the idea of some racing challenges where we take a weekend or a couple of days and designate a number of hours and just see how far we can get on something.
Yeah. Some yarn reviews and some races.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like if we did something like books or something, they would have to be books I can get in digital format because I cannot reprint anymore on my own.
I think we can leave books for a minute until we can figure that one out later.
Okay. But I love the idea of yarn, like both of us trying the same type of yarn on different projects or something, right? I mean, obviously, the all-in-one granny square is an all-in-one granny square. That's exactly.
You're making a granny square. That's what it is.
Though, Red Heart had a sample of a knitted sweater in that self-striping yarn, which I want to take a closer look at.
Interesting.
I know, I'm quite intrigued. But I also really love those crochet pants you posted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the pattern. I think I need to buy it. It's because it's not just those types of pants. That's just one style. She teaches you how to do them with different width legs.
Yeah, it's like, this is how you make wrap pants that fit you. Put whatever stitch you want on here.
I know. Where I'm just like, okay, that's a good pattern to have. So, like, I want to buy that pattern.
I'm just intrigued by the concept of wrap pants. They sound comfy.
They really do. That's my other thought. I was like, oh, you sound like good lounge around the house day stuff, and I need
Yeah, or
more
like
lounge around the house.
you're doing something casual in the summer.
My capris, my yoga capris are dying. I'm down to 2
Mm.
pairs. So like I need more lounge around the house pants. These are not leave the house pants. These are strictly stay at home yoga pants sort of idea. So I'm like, nope, I need to do that. I need to do that.
All right,
Oh,
let's
I'm really
catch up on chat. Elisa was saying, I find nitpicks great as an American. I just want to know what the boundaries need to know, or just want to know the boundaries for this because that's interesting to me.
It is. Whereas like if I was American, nitpicks, totally budget
Yeah,
friendly.
nitpicks, awesome if you're American.
Totally budget.
Less
If you're
budget friendly if
American.
you're Canadian, unless they're having a
Less.
really epic sale, which they do sometimes. So
And
I
in
think,
which case it slides into budget friendly territory because by the time you've ordered enough to justify the shipping to your part of Canada, you've saved and it's fine.
well, you might
You're
have
not.
crossed the free shipping threshold anyway.
Yeah. So
It's
like,
higher for Canadians. Go figure.
well, that and the prices that you see aren't what Canadians pay because we pay Canadian prices, not American prices.
Yeah. So if you're American, go for it. I think us in Canada will not go for it unless the sale is epic.
Whereas, like, if we wanted to do a big order, Briggs and Little is absolutely an option for huge orders because they are
That's an
quite
option for
budget
us.
friendly in Canada. Whereas it wouldn't be as budget friendly because you'd have to ship over the border for Americans,
Yeah.
right? So like it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Whereas I'm sure Oz is sitting there going, "Well, I could just go buy some Lopi."
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, Lopi is a more expensiver one around here.
Oh, around here not
It's
the
a little
budget friendly
specialty.
department. But like Barocco
Yeah.
is definitely budget friendly.
Cascade?
Cascade would be budget friendly. A lot of the Cascade lines quite budget friendly. And you and I've worked in Barocco and Cascade. We like both those lines. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. But oh, imagine challenge yourselves to find a good budget friendly cotton yarn and stuff. Like we could start making this really wacky and crazy. I mean, for the moment, let's just try Michael's and Walmart and see what kind of trouble we can get into.
All right. I like it.
And we can grow from there. But I think anything where you're paying $15 or less a ball of yarn would be budget friendly. For 100 grams. Let's specify that for 100 grams. Because obviously you pay more for larger balls of yarn.
I'm thinking like, I don't know. What does indie yarn go for these days? I was just buying bulk from Erin now. What is indie yarn actually going for these days?
My brain just did the same thing. I was like, I don't know. I just buy in bulk from Erin. I don't know anymore.
I feel like it's like at least $20, so maybe budget friendly is more in the $10 range.
It's gotta be 30. Yeah, if your indie's like 32, 34, 38, like almost $40 a skein at this point, then yeah, your indie is like $15 or less. Or your indie, your commercial budget friendly would be $15 a ball or less for 100 grams. Depending on the yarn, right? Because like some of them are more than others. Because I think the Impeccable is like $12 a ball.
I think the last time I bought Impeccable,
Unless
it
you
was
managed
8
to
or
get it
9.
on sale.
I think it was 8 or 9, and it wasn't on sale.
Is it still 8 or 9? I haven't looked in a year.
I think so.
We'd have to look.
Anyway, future plans. We'll hammer out some details.
I was looking at the Pound of Love. They're pretty cheap, but they're way more than 100 grams.
Yeah. I think we might have to math it out and be like price per meter or grams or something.
Yeah, price per grams.
Price per 100 grams?
Price per 100 grams. The weight is more consistent than yardage. Yardage is variable, even with commercial yarns. And it's always an estimated guess off the weight anyway, so we might as well just go by weight. I'd be more accurate. Do that way. Guess I'm still
Okay.
unwinding. I'd like to finish this last ball. I don't
All
care
right,
that the
future
sprints are done.
plans.
I'm going to keep working.
Juju saying
We need to write these down.
we do need to write these down. I'll write them down. Juju saying the ceiling that came down nearly 6 months ago is still in the process of being fixed. It's utter chaos in here with everything in the wrong place still. Ooh.
That has got to be so frustrating.
Yeah. Boo.
So frustrating.
She also says, I have fabric and wrap pattern for some wrap pants. See comment about space on floor for cutting.
Oh, yeah. I honestly really only wear pants when I'm lounging around the house or I'm taking the garbages. Otherwise, I prefer to wear skirts or dresses. In the summer, it's almost exclusively dresses. And I've got 3 dresses cut out and ready for sewing when I have a hot second to get to them. But I've got some staple stuff that is wearing out that I need to replace. My cardigans, because I don't want to be buying cardigans anymore. I don't want to buy pants anymore. I don't want to buy skirts or dresses anymore. I'm still going to buy the underlayer garments. Like I'm still going to buy camisoles, the stretchy tank tops, the leggings, because leggings are not pants. Pants. I do not wear them like pants because that is not what they are.
They're like stockings.
Yeah, stockings I will buy, I won't make. So like there's still some things that I would rather purchase than make, but I'm getting to the point where I would really like to have closer to 80 or 90% of my wardrobe being handmade. So I have to make some foundation stuff this year to make some boring things like button down shirts and things. So if I'm honest, I'll probably just make V-neck tunics. You shoe buttons entirely and just go with tunics with darts.
Lisa
tunics with
says
darts and zippers.
leggings are long johns and work out at the gym clothes.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly where they should be. But they're like sweatpants. They don't belong at Walmart. Like they don't belong out in public. I know people wear them out in public. They don't belong out in public.
I definitely wear sweatpants to go grocery shopping sometimes. Nobody cares.
I never, ever wear sweatpants to go grocery shopping.
I'm not trying to impress anybody at the grocery store. I just make sure they don't have holes or stains. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I don't care.
It's not about impressing people. For me, it's about having enough self-respect for myself that I am more comfortable when I'm put together.
I honestly don't care. I don't feel unput together if I'm wearing sweatpants.
I certainly do. I really, really do. I'm just like, no, it's a whole mindset. I also don't own sweatpants. Why would a person who runs warm own sweatpants?
Fair.
It's crazy stuff.
Anyway, we've been on for 3 hours. We've just crossed the 3-hour threshold.
Ooh, is it time? Are we all caught up on chat?
Because I'm hungry. We're all caught up on chat. Oh, Elisa says people wear sweatpants to class.
I know.
Yeah, it's fine.
People are free to do as they see fit. I will not participate in it.
That's fine. You wear the pants or not that you like, and I'll wear the pants that I like. And by not, I mean skirts and alternatives, not just not wearing pants.
People aren't going to be showing up to university class in, Victorian and Edwardian walking skirts on the reg. So, like, my fashion sense still makes me stand out a bunch. I'm more comfortable with it, so it's fine.
Wear what makes you happy.
So long as you abide by public nudity laws, it's fine.
Yep. All good.
Don't get arrested. Don't get arrested by the coppers. That's the important statement here.
All right. I'm real hungry and I need more water.
Well, you're in charge.
I'm gonna say.
Can you do it?
I was about to try and do the outro, and nope, I can't. We'll use it until next week. Except it's not next week. It's gonna be in like a few days. Until Wednesday.
Guys,
see you guys on Wednesday or something.
No, oh my word! You want me to do it?
Yes. Save me.
Guys, it's the end of the stream, so I'm gonna say I'm Jocelyn.
I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.
We got to work on that, babe. You need an outro. You need
yeah,
some outro
yeah.
training.